And we are live, guys. Wrestle Purist Sunday special back at it. And tonight we are going to give you guys a weekend roundup. It's been a really stacked weekend of professional wrestling, maybe the most stacked that I can remember in a while, honestly. And I'm kind of astonished I was able to keep up with all of it. But a lot of wrestling that happened yesterday, and so much of it was great. I'd imagine many of you guys haven't been able to keep up with all of it. But that's fine because we're gonna get you guys covered by talking about all the big matches, all the big moments, and go through everything with Collision, uh, TripleMania, G1 Climax, and a little bit of Noah. So happy to be here, guys. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe. And I'm here with Charlie and AO. Charlie, how you doing today?
Hello. I'm good. I'm good. This has definitely been like the most stacked weekend since like probably Mania weekend. So it's been crazy, but I'm excited just to wrap it all up today and then get started with the next week of wrestling, I guess.
Big AO, man. The biggest fan of Collision we got out here on the Russell Pierce channel, man. What's
Jesus.
going on with you, man? What's
Don't
up?
disrespect me, cuz what a weekend of wrestling, bro. Some great, which was the G1 this Saturday. Some in between, which was, Kenny Omega and Vikingo had another amazing bout. And there was also the ambulance match, which with every AAA show, it's not gonna be the smoothest. There was definitely some low points in that show. But
Mhm.
and then there was some really bad with Collision. And then Battle of the Belts, bro. It's just
Bro.
like if we weren't doing content on the Twitch channel last night, I wouldn't have watched it. And just like the only through the power of friendship, we're talking with y'all and
Yeah,
making fun of that show and talking to the live chat on Twitch, making fun of that show. Was I able to get through that? Because what a steaming pile of shit that show was. But I'm ready
it
to
was
talk
rough.
grabs. Ready to talk grabs.
Absolutely, man. Charlie made the comparison to WrestleMania weekend, and the reason why it didn't feel that way for me personally was because Mania weekend I kind of associate like the festivities leading up to it and all the scattered shows.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
lately, no, listen though. The thing is, like lately with those shows, I just associate it with like garbage because like it's usually like a lot of stuff and very little of it these days are like very good or better. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of shitter indie shows or things that like
Yeah, man.
I
Like,
don't need to
Yeah.
spend my time on. But this weekend, I mean, between the Omega match and Kento Miyahara and the tag match on Collision and the G1 stuff, there was a lot to love. Not like love. Uh, just so many great wrestlers all across the world just doing their thing at the same time. The amount of in-ring quality we're getting these days is just absolutely staggering, and there's so much to appreciate and enjoy. Yeah, man, this weekend was absolutely stacked, and I'm excited to kind of talk about it with Charlie Nao. These guys were on Twitch yesterday for hours, man. Fucking what
Yeah.
was it, 7 hours?
8 fucking hours, bro.
I tapped out at 7, but like the stream as a
Eight
whole went for about
hours.
8. Yeah.
What a stream. The live chat was lit the entire time. Shout out to people who fucking like Chuck was there for virtually the
Yes.
entire thing. Marcus was there for virtually the entire thing. Ibu, even though he was working, bro, like if we did 8 hours last night, Ibu might have been there for like five of them, or like at least
Yeah,
four and a half.
Yeah.
Like Ibu, he showed up, man. It was a great time. Pull up to the Russell Pures Twitch page. We're back for Blood and Guts on Wednesday. Um,
Yes.
I'm gonna go live after this show for like 2 minutes just to complete our monetization goal. But yeah, don't join. I'm not gonna. I mean, if people join, I'm gonna talk for like a minute, but don't join. If you don't join, bro, because it's
get out of
literally
here.
just so we can get monetized. So our last day goes
Yeah.
into monetization. But the community over there has been great. The community over here is great as always, man. Thank y'all for y'all support, man.
Absolutely,
Absolutely.
absolutely, man. Crazy night last night. Hella hours logged. So many different things we were checking out. If you were one of the people that joined us, I appreciate that. The success of our Twitch only what one weekend is just kind of staggering.
1 week, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's 1 week, and we got two Twitch streams that have done over 1,000, and last night's is over four. So it's just honestly crazy.
Bro,
And
Ibu, bro, do you understand? There are professional wrestlers with millions and millions of Twitter followers and
right,
Instagram followers that aren't even getting close to our numbers on Twitch,
Yeah.
bro. It's
it's
actually
it's it's
crazy.
ridiculous.
It's
It's
crazy.
When I was
crazy.
talking, when I was talking with Monty about this, right, about this Twitch thing, I'm like, yeah, man, with our following, we could definitely get, 70 live viewers, pretty soon on one of the videos. I'm like, yeah, we could get a couple 100,000 views, maybe a couple hundred views, and then the first one pops 1,000. Like,
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous. This community is unbelievable. The power that
Unreal.
Wrestling Pierce already holds within the wrestling space on social media is just, it's something that I have to kind of take a step back and like really think about because it's great, and it's why I appreciate this platform and appreciate you guys. And it's why I appreciate it's my appreciation is why we decided to do this tonight. Lots to get into. Remember, guys, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, send super chats and comments, please. We're gonna be here for a little bit. I want to start with Collision. Last night was Collision in Calgary. I believe it was the Calgary Saddle Dome, and they did over 5,000 fans live, which is the third best attendance for a Collision show. I think they ended up at about 5.8 thousand. And it was the fifth episode of Collision. Big show. Only 3 advertised matches going in. And they didn't do a bunch of late additions. They added a squash for the House of Black. But 3 matches. And a lot of fans were wondering, why was there only 3 matches? What's going on here? And the reason why was because one of them went Broadway. We opened up straight away with a 2 out of 3 falls match for the AEW Tag Team Championships.
Huh.
AEW, the AEW Tag Champs FTR took on the Bullet Club Gold of Jay White and Juice Robinson, and these guys wrestled for about 58 minutes straight, 2 out of 3 falls in Calgary, and I thought this match was a fucking instant classic. I'd be remiss to be able to name you too many better American tag matches ever. For me personally, I thought
I could name 10 off the top of my head. Can't count 2 of you, my boy.
that's nice. I thought this match was absolutely unreal. I was so happy to watch it. I was proud to be an
Don't hang on
FTR
your boy,
fan.
bitch.
Sometimes it's tough to be an FTR fan, personally speaking, because the culture fostered around them on social media. Sometimes Dax shoots himself in the foot with the things he says on Twitter. AO is a piece of shit who riles the public against them. So it's tough.
That's not a thing that happens actually.
It's tough, but nonetheless, last night was one of those nights where you just see the best of them and you get reminded why they're valued the way they are, and they wrestled with just so much passion and fire. And it'd be unfair to not mention just how amazing Juice Robinson and Jay White were. Jay White is fucking spectacular, and there's so many superlatives thrown at him specifically as a talent, and sometimes he isn't able to really show it. And I think this period of Collision, he's shown so much. He looked amazing yesterday, and just my God, these guys just went out there. They first of all they broke every rule in the moves rule book. The recent moves protocol that AEW announced. I mean,
Which is what I was trying to tell people. If you are them, which Jay White and Juice Robinson are, you can get away with whatever you want, bro. You're not gonna get fined. People are just gonna kind of like, we kind of have these rules, guys, and then you're gonna be like, oh, okay. But you're gonna spit at people. You're gonna hit your pile drivers, even though you didn't tell your agent. You're gonna do a blind turnbuckle spot. Like it's just gonna happen, bro. Like AEW fans with this Chicken Little bullshit, you guys gotta get out of this, bro. Like everything's gonna end up being okay. Like how many instances were things just not okay when people just started crying and crying and crying on Twitter, bro?
100%.
It's just like sometimes a company needs to do things to protect themselves against the talent. It's like if something goes wrong, it'll be like, yo, we told them not to do it. They did it anyway. We're not liable. Talk to the talent. It's in the rule book. They knew the rule book. They read it over. We had HR read it over with them. And they chose to do it anyway, it is what it is, bro. But just stop all this crying shit.
Yeah, they emptied the full clip out on television. There were times where I thought Dax Harwood and Jay White were risking paralysis, quite frankly, and they just look like absolute warriors.
That barricade spot, bro.
Ridiculous.
I don't know if Jay's actually concussed and powered through it for the rest of the match, or if he really just worked me into a shoot. But that was a crazy.
It was not.
It felt like these guys were like literally killing each other, and a total war of attrition. By the end of it, it felt like these guys legitimately walked away with bumps and bruises. I thought this was sensational. Mm-hmm. The superplex spot that got the fans to stand up was awesome because the power and glory spot was countered by a Juice Robinson frog splash 3/4 of the way through the ring. every fall was exciting. This was engaging throughout for me personally. And in the closing stretches, Jay White, he invoked the name of Shawn Michaels. He tuned up the band. He went for a super kick. He fucking did a sharpshooter in Calgary. But ultimately, FTR got the match won right
You are
before the time limit draw with double
Yeah,
sharpshooter. Yep,
it
Charlie,
was
talk to me, Charlie.
like I really felt like they were setting up for him to go to the time limit draw on the
Yes.
last fall. So it did bother me a little bit that it didn't. I was just like, why the fuck did we wrestle for 58 minutes? But I did really like the match. I'm not as high on it because I feel like the build to the second fall, like it didn't hold me as much
it
like
was
as
meandering, to
the
be
yeah,
completely honest.
like I do feel like I get why other people were so high on it and why it like held them as much as it did, but this isn't my favorite type of tag team wrestling. Like I enjoyed it because it was tag team wrestling, but I was just like they could have been like 15 minutes shaved out of this match and it probably would have been at a higher level for me personally. But overall I did really enjoy it. Like I think the stretch to the first fall was my favorite though.
Ayo, talk to me, man. You are the
Look,
resident FTR hater in the
I'm
building.
not an FTR hater, bro. I'm an FTR truther. I speak the truth on FTR, and I
All
give
right.
them props when props are due. Do you know what I gave them on? Do you know FTR versus the Briscoes 1 and 3? Do you know the scores I gave them
What
in
did
the
you give
Russell
him?
Pierce spreadsheet? I give
What
them
did you give
5 stars, bro, for both
him?
matches. I'm not a hater. I'm just a truth teller. When
Right.
I keep it real, bro. That first fall, loved it a lot. When they built to that first fall, when they built to that blade run, I popped huge. I popped huge on stream. And people in the chat were confused. They were like, "Doesn't AO hate FTR?" Yes, I do. No, I don't hate FTR. I tell the truth. If they could do this on a consistent basis, and Dax publicly apologizes for attacking my character on social media, I would get off their back. And if he stopped talking about the Bucks, I would get off his back. But
He
those
don't
are just
he,
not things that are gonna happen.
he don't
So
he
I'm gonna
don't
stay on
public
his ass.
he
All
don't
right.
he don't slander the Bucks publicly. He doesn't
No.
do that.
Yes, the
You know,
fuck he does.
he puts them
Anyway,
over.
and I know he slanders them privately. Anyway,
Oh man.
what was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? This cocksucker ruined my train of thought. But yeah. I'm not as high on the match as others. Hangman Page and Bryan Danielson, Juice Robinson and Dax Harwood are not. I don't think they had the gas tank for this match. I think it was a match that went long to say it went long. That second fall really lost me. When they started killing each other on that third fall, though, I was like, all right, we're back. We're definitely back. But yeah, the first and third fall, liked it a lot. It got sloppy towards the end, which is to be expected. These guys are gassed. The tag format didn't really protect Dax as much as some thought it would when this was speculated to go 60 minutes. His fat ass was out there gassed, man. It is what it is. Dax, if you're listening, suck my dick. Anyway.
Dax, I love you. Appreciate you, man. Brother from another mother.
Cash looks
Best
great.
team in the world.
Cash looks great. I think he's become the better worker in FTR. Jay
They're both
White.
super.
Jay White, man. I can't put over Jay White and what a superstar, bro. That 6 weeks where I pretended like I didn't like Switchblade when I pretended like I didn't like Jay White because niggas who knew were like, yo, he's probably going up north. I was like, all right, y'all like Kiwi Randy Orton? It hurt me, bro. It hurt me because Jay White's someone who I've been a fan of since he got back from being a young lion. I was like, even though he looks kind of crazy with his gear and the lack of beard, I was like, this is someone who I could support from the beginning. Like, finally, a wrestler I could see go from young lion, excursion, coming back, and I could say I was there from the beginning, right? And to see him in AEW on American television, just picking up where he left off. Well, not where he left off because that Hikuleo match was terrible, but picking up where he was. You feel me? Before the pandemic, it's great to see, man. I'm happy for Jay. I'm happy for Juice. I kind of don't like how people are just saying Juice is flourishing now because Jay's here to like hold his hand and shit. I think you're taking away a lot of credit from Juice. Just standing next to Jay White doesn't make you a good wrestler. Doesn't make you entertaining. If you watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, you will know that for sure. There was a lot of shitters in Bullet Club towards the end.
Yeah.
They did not look like stars standing next to Jay White. if anything, Jay kind of made them look worse because it's just like, yo, this is a real ass nigga. But what's up with the rest of Bullet Club? But yeah, man, I love the match. Punching it in at 4 1/4.
Oh my
Liked it.
god.
At first, I didn't like it as much as last week, which I punched in at 4. I was like, no. This definitely surpassed that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, again, I thought this was a classic, one of the best tag matches I've ever seen. Jay White is taking it up another level. I'm very impressed with him. He's somebody that I respected, but I never loved as a wrestler, to be honest with you. And I think he's doing better on American TV than he was in New Japan, quite frankly. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with him. Definitely somebody to be positioned and pushed strong as a heel on AEW television. And just all around good shit, man. Great match for sure. Before we get further on the show, let's get into some super chats and talk to our audience, please. Let's get into that.
Keep the super chats coming. We appreciate them.
Absolutely, we're gonna read all of them.
Man.
Yeah, man, guys. If you're new to this content, first of all, we read your super chats on screen and answer your questions and engage with your topics, and we definitely greatly appreciate it. It helps me pay my bills and support my family. Darren KG at $5 said, "I love the FTR match, but Kento Miyahara versus Katsuhiko Nakajima is the match of the week. Modern Puro classic, best non-gaijin thing from Japan in 2023. Go watch it." Darren, I absolutely agree with you. We're gonna touch on that match. We're gonna touch on that match a bit later, but Kento's a fucking stud. He's a great wrestler, and I thought that match was amazing.
Yeah, I don't like how people aren't giving my dog Nakajima his flowers on this match enough, bro. It's Kento this, Kento that. Nakajima's a fucking star, bro, and he was lockstep with Kento the entire way. I think y'all trying to be hipsters and shit.
Go ahead, Charlie.
I know the All Japan guy, Hangman.
Matspan84 199 super chat, thank you. Nicole's Hinero was unexpectedly beast. I was wilding, bro. Again, we're like going to talk about the G1 in a bit, but that match was so good.
Might be my second favorite match of the weekend.
It was genuinely incredible. I rewatched it earlier. I was like, bro, like
it's also really funny, and I don't know why. It's so fucking funny.
It's funny because it's just like, bro, what are Mikey Nichols and Aaron Henare out here doing? like, why did they come out here and decide night 2 of the G1, our first match, we are gonna have the singles match of the weekend? Like, how did this shout out to them, bro. That was amazing.
What I love about it also is like, because New Japan decided to label Ren Narita, Shota Umino, and Yota Tsuji as the New Musketeers, it's clearly pissed off like everybody else, and so like they're going into this G1 like fuck the office, you know what I mean?
Bro, some of these niggas who were pissed off need to just shut up, bro. Mikey Nichols, he's like 40 years old. Aaron Henare is actually surprisingly young, but he's someone who New Japan kind of invested in towards the beginning, but he shit the bed a lot. He wasn't having a lot of great matches, but between this match and the Shingo match, Aaron Henare, you are no longer a shitter in my eyes. You are now
Big Aaron.
What tier are we putting him in, Hangman?
We know we need to officially hash out the official WrestlePeers tier list. All right? So is Beast the top level thing you can give a nigga? Is Beast like the best?
Yeah, Beast is top.
Okay, and Shitter is bottom, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then the next one is like nice little. He's a guy. He's a guy.
Yeah, he's a guy. He's
a guy. Yeah. Okay, so there's Shitter, then there's Jag, right? Just a guy. Above Jag is, nice little worker, right? Nice little
good hand.
Good hand.
Good hand, yeah.
And then above good hand, we'll say he's dope.
Yeah.
He's kind of fire. He's
kind of fire. He's kind of fire. And then above that is Beast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we could all agree that FTR
is definitely in the shitter category. I'll put Cash in the just the guy territory. Shout out to Cash.
Absolutely. Maz fan, thank you so much for the super chat. We will talk more in detail about Nichols and Henare shortly.
Absolutely. Yes. 6-star, $10 super chat. We appreciate you, 6. Loves love to see Charlie and Ao on my screen again. Ibu is also there. Shout out to Russell Pierce, Eddie Kingston, Kenny Omega, Natsupoi, and Willow Nightingale, dead ass, for having a
Yeah.
terrific night last night. I completely agree. Thank you for support as always, Six. Ibu, you don't have anything to say
Level
about
six.
the nice things Six Star said about you?
Thank you for the super chat, 6 star.
Crybaby ass nigga. Ricky Starks, $2 super chat. I'm sorry, Richard Starks, the own winner. Richard Starks, $2 super chat. Ibu, honey, thanks for your late night pep talks, giggling emoji. Ibu, what kind of pep talks you and Richard having?
I gave that nigga no pep talks.
He's in the chat. He's giving us money. You know, giving us some of his winner's purse last night. He's telling us that you're giving him pep talks, and you're just gonna lie on stream. Just gonna lie on this man on stream.
Yeah, again, I gave this man no pep talks.
You're disgusting. You're a bad person. Ibu.
Shit, I just realized we gotta put Hooper in this list.
No, I'm killing Hooper. I brought Hooper into the internet wrestling community.
You're killing
I'm taking it out, bro. I'm taking it out. It's done.
Too many nerds co-opted the lingo.
It's
right?
done, bro. It's over. Y'all killed it.
Niggas use that shit wrong and shit. You know, like,
yeah, man. Like, come on.
I gotta say, this match is a Hooper. All right, bro.
Aubrey Edwards throwing out Team TNA was a hoop. All right, man. Let's wrap that out. Oh, Willie, $5 super chat. With the strikes going on, get ready for Dwayne to show up in Detroit and set up the match with Roman at WrestleMania 40. Cody ain't finishing that story. Cope. Do you think Dwayne The Rock Johnson ever comes back, Ibu? And Chuck?
Ever? Yes.
It's kind of a now or never situation, though. He's like 50-something years old.
For it to be relevant to the bloodline stuff, it has to happen within the next year. But ever in general to just do something, yes, he will be back.
No, I mean wrestle, not do something, not hit his music and then rock bottom song. Like have a match.
That's tough, bro. That's fucking tough. I feel like
with this writer's strike, I feel like there is more of a chance of it happening now. Because what else is he gonna do?
The thing is, Charlie, this nigga hates wrestling, so like he will find some. He'll be like, "Oh, XFL," you know?
Yeah, man, he's putting all his coins in on that.
That's what I'm saying. This man, he's so badly didn't want to come back. He squashed his beef with Vin Diesel when he fucking despised Vin Diesel.
Bro, public beef was trying to little boy Vin Diesel at every turn.
Yes. He had no interest in working with him ever again. Had studios make a spin-off for him so he didn't have to work with him. And now he's like, hey, crazy. Man, brothers are brothers.
He's like, hey, man, brothers fight, family fights. The most thing about family, we make it through at the end.
Next, you know, and I was agents like, yo, we can't do no movies for the next little bit. What we doing, Dwayne? He's like, XFL.
Yo, like football?
It's like, nigga, get in the ring.
He's gonna have like 10 new fucking lines for his tequila brand. Like, he's gonna find anything.
That man's gonna go to like the Himalayan mountains and find some new tequila and be like, Terramana, it's the newest strand. It's the.
Oh,
$6 $2 super chat. Thank you, Six. Dax Harwood and Ebor BFFs with Cornette. Look, man,
I am not.
Have y'all heard about Cornette's extracurricular activities with his wife? I would be remiss to tell you that Ebor has taken part on multiple occasions.
I have never engaged in any type of extracurricular activities with Jim Cornette's wife.
Stop lying to the Russell Pierce Galaxy.
But you're not denying the Cornette one?
I am not friends. I'm not friends with Mr. James E. Cornette.
He's BFFs. Joe Holbert's auntie, Maggie T.
Oh my God.
Margaret Thatcher herself, $5 super chat. It's interesting it's not pounds, but you know, she travels. Hello, my friends. Where is my loyal companion, Joe Holbert? Also, Ibu, my dear. I saw a trailer with you and Tom Holland called The Crowded Room.
Oh, my God.
Proud of you.
Yeah,
that was you blowing Spider-Man's back out?
I've never been in a trailer with Tom Holland.
Look, man, I think
look, that's crazy.
Now, certain places in the world do call me Ibu Love, but that's not.
Ibu Love
that's not
crazy.
Crazy.
That's neither here nor there,
You
nigga.
about to make that next tape with Adam 22's wife?
Yeah. Also,
Um,
shout out Joe Holbert. He's just not feeling very well. He'll be back on the show soon.
Darren Cagey, $2 super chat. Manny was right about Ricky Starks, by the way. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Ricky man, ain't looking good.
Someone said
You see he tweeted out swam after the match?
Mm-hmm.
that's hilarious.
What's going
Someone,
on here, bro?
someone in the chat said, "Evil giving that white boy back shots on television." Hey man, I don't know where you're getting that from. Brainbuster 199. Shout out to the watch along crew from last night. Dead ass.
Look,
Thank
man,
you. It was a good time, man.
great time. Eight long hours, but we did it.
Yeah.
We did it.
Shout out to Evil for being the one thing that could stop me. You know.
Yo, Evil. Son, only me and Marcus was still around after that Evil match, son. Like everybody's like, yeah, we're gonna run through the G1, yeah. Evil's music hits, they're just like,
Yo,
what? I gotta go.
It's crazy because before the Evil match, I was like, how many matches you got left? You were like 2. I was like,
He's like, yo, I'm feeling good.
I'm feeling pretty good. Evil music hits, and then like, yo, legit. Here's the thing: the bell rings, right? They're wrestling for about 2 minutes, and after about 2 minutes of Evil wrestling, it was like, yo, I don't. What's going on, bro? Like my body just started to like change. Like it just.
That is not the way I would want anyone to put an end to a marathon stream, bro. I felt every minute of that 20 minutes pause, son. That was
I'm so
disgusting.
glad.
They was doing kickouts. They was doing NXT faces. They was like trying to grapple, bro. They
for a
was
1.5 hour match.
Tama Tonga was gun stunning everyone, bro. It was disgusting. They literally try to like industry plan a classic, and it was terrible. Everybody was just burying it on the timeline. Everybody was burying it on stream. Everybody was burying it on the live chat.
Doing the Stone Cold pay-per-view formula for a 1-star match in the G1 is crazy.
Like, come on, bro.
Nasty. Coleman 199, 109 pounds, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
It goes Beast, then it goes Kenny by God Omega.
That's true. Kenny by God Omega is the top of the pyramid. But that just goes without saying. Absolutely.
The God of Pro Wrestling. Go ahead, Charlie.
Dimmaz, $2 super chat. Gabe Kidd losing to Chase Owens. Nasty work, Gado. Bro.
That's not the way you want to start this one.
Not a fan. Not a fan at all.
We'll get into it because I think they're like trying to do some storytelling with both Gabe Kidd and Alex Coughlin, but to Chase Owens, you can
pretty
get
nasty.
in that one.
Parker
it's kind of a gimme match.
Parker has a theory that I hope is correct, and I'll bring it up later. If it's not his theory, it's my theory, and my theory is worst case scenario. And so hopefully it's not mine, but we'll get into that shortly.
Fucking rough.
All right.
Is that it?
That's it with the super chats for now. Please keep them coming in.
Yes.
We appreciate the support.
100%.
Them all.
Right. Yeah, and so while you guys are working on that, Willow Nightingale won the Owen.
Yes.
She won on Friday against Athena to make it to the finals of the Owen Hart Cup. And then I was thinking going in like, all right, well, she's gonna set up probably a rematch with Athena at Death Before Dishonor for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. I presume maybe Athena's gonna cost her in the final and Ruby's gonna get it or something. No, they just decided this is the hot thing. She has so much momentum. She's really over. We're gonna keep going with it. And you know what? Good on them. Very refreshing. Good shit. She won the match with Ruby. Big celebration with the confetti and stuff like that. She posed on the stage with the trophy. I didn't think much of the match, to be completely frank. It was just kind of there. But I was very happy with the decision, and I think that she is just a really special thing that they have in their hands, and I think they're finally starting to realize that after like not for a longest time. She'd come out and it was just like she was a bundle of joy on their TV, but she was very much a big player. Now she's very much positioned to be like one of their top women stars, and I think she deserves it. Charlie, what did you think of this whole thing?
I've been all in on Willow for ages now. Like before we knew when Chris was coming back, like she was my pick to beat Jade for ages. Like she was my pick to win the Owen before they even announced the brackets. So I'm just so happy for her, and I hope they keep the momentum rolling and they have big plans for her because Willow deserves this spot. She's so good, and she just gets better every time she wrestles.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I think she's just so likable, such a star, and my personal favorite women's wrestler in AEW at the moment. So I'm happy with
Mhm.
it. Ayo, how do you feel about this decision?
I've been all in on Willow for a minute now. I'm not gonna pretend like I knew about her indie work or have been following her for years and years. But when she popped up on AEW Dark and then popped up on the first ever Tony Khan ROH show, I think what was that, Supercard of Honor?
I don't remember.
I think it was.
Yeah, it
Anyway,
was. Yeah.
yeah, so she popped up on the pre-show for that. I was just like, this is someone who could be an absolute star. She carries herself like a huge baby face star. She can work. She's my easily my favorite woman's hoss right now. Unless you count like
Mhm.
Bianca as a hoss, I don't think she is. She's just incredibly strong. Um, she Willow's a special talent. She connects to
Yeah.
people. She connects with fans on a special level. When she was only doing darks for the longest time, and then she popped up on TV, and the crowd fucking erupted. I was like, "Yo, Tony Khan has to see this, right?" And I think he
Mm-hmm.
thought it was a fluke, and she kept popping up on TV every now and then, and the crowd kept erupting, and the crowd kept coming
Yeah.
on their feet, and she kept losing, and people were like, "Yo, like, what's going on with Willow? Like, is she gonna get an all elite graphic? Is she gonna start winning some matches? Is she gonna start getting pushed anytime soon?" And then nothing really changed until she started getting put in higher and higher spots, but she kept losing and losing and losing. Nothing really changed until Mercedes' injury, unfortunately, and
Mhm.
they had to put the NJPW, my high ass, strong women's belt on her, and we were like, all right, so Tony Khan, you were given this gift, push Willow, let's see what you do with it, and I think as much as I don't like her going to Japan and losing to Julia that quickly, as much as I love Julia, I understand why it was done. I understand that
Mhm.
New Japan never really was gonna put the belt on her, but I think Tony Khan's done a really good job as presenting her well, pushing her like how fans want to see her push. She's won the Owen. I did not expect to see it happen. Poor Ruby
Yeah.
Soho. I was burying her on stream last night because I was getting really spiteful, bro. Because I was getting really spiteful because I didn't think Willow had a chance to win. I was like, Ruby lost last year. They're gonna do that thing where they give Ruby this win just to say that she's accomplished something in AEW. It's not gonna really elevate her. It's not gonna do anything for her when this could really be another star making moment and history making for a future star in Willow Nightingale. And when it happened, I didn't see she when she got her for the Doctor Bomb, when she got her in position for the Doctor Bomb, the babe with the power bomb. I was like, all right, how's Ruby gonna reverse this? And then she hit it. I popped huge on
Yeah.
stream, bro. I was yelling. I was just, I was so happy. As a fan, I was happy. For Willow, I'm happy. It was great shit, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Quick interruption. Ao, why did you feel the need when you tweeted out the links of this video to post a screenshot
Uh huh.
of Lena the Plug uh, in the midst of what appears to be penile insertion, as she is making a very exasperated face? Why was this? Why was the screenshot of this posted along with your advertisement for this podcast?
That is something that the kids call a typo.
Mm,
So yes, that was a simple spelling error on my
mm,
part.
mm,
I would like to issue an apology to
mm,
the Russell Purist Galaxy.
mm,
That picture does not represent me as a man, or my
mm,
morals, or how I want to represent Russell Purist moving forward.
mm,
I will now be downloading Grammarly,
mm.
so no such mistakes ever happen again. And I'm sorry.
Explain to me
Uh huh.
how a typo leads to a screenshot being posted. And
Well,
secondly, explain to me how you attained said screenshot, sir.
you see, the thing is, right? Um, so Kenny Omega had this really good match with El Hijo del Vikingo in
Yes.
in Tijuana.
Uh-huh.
I got fucking nothing, bro.
I was gonna say, like, what do you want to say? Kenny Omega was giving Vikingo back shots?
No,
Like, what's going
no,
on
no, no.
here?
You see, the thing is, bro, it's just
What's
like
going on?
things happen, man.
Right,
Things
right,
just happen.
Right. Live chat. Should we forgive AO for this debauchery for
The
this
live chat would never
for
turn
this
against me. The live
live
chat would
chat?
never turn
Do
against
we
me.
accept AO's indecency? Because if this was me, you know, I think the pitchforks would be out, man. I don't know.
The pitchforks would be out because you are a freaky frog,
I'm
and
not.
I am
I'm not
a
like this.
man of God. I am a man of high moral fiber.
I don't believe
I
that.
am a man who walks the straight and narrow.
I don't
I
believe that
do
either.
not partake in the horny posting that you partake in every day.
I
I
don't do that.
I do not lust after tag team wrestlers in the same fashion that you do. Look, man, the chat, the
They're
chats.
lying.
Look,
Like
man, the chat. Ao did nothing wrong. Forgive Ao. Ao is innocent. Yes, we forgive Ao. Yes,
this is crazy.
it was his cat. It was my cat. Ao can't do nothing wrong. Ao is innocent. Nothing to forgive.
This is bullshit.
He did nothing wrong.
I don't get it.
Hey, man.
I don't get it.
It's
I think
Ao's innocent. Ao is a good, godly man.
no, he's not.
Ebu is a freaky frog.
No, I'm not. Yeah,
Ao is not guilty. Free Ao. The chat's spoken, man. Arrest Ebu.
Why me?
Ao.
What did I do?
Hey.
Follow Hangy Fashion.
Do not follow.
Do not follow Hangy Fashion.
Do not
Follow Hangy Fashion, please, and thank you.
If you want to see Sodom and Gomorrah in Twitter page form, then go look at Hangy Fashion. If not, then stay away from that page. Preemptively block it. Actually,
nah. If you want good content, you know where to look. The Kings of the Black Throne, they squashed some jabronis. Andrade was on the stage. He had a cane.
Yeah.
And that was kind of that for that. And the main event was the Owen Hart Men's Cup Finals. And the main event, hasn't posted in like a year.
Put Dragon Master Adams' comment on screen. That made me laugh.
Wait, I didn't see it.
Let me find it.
I didn't see it.
Fuzzy Wuzzy Bear, Silly Willy Worm, and fucking Freaky Frog. All words that describe Ebu.
Hey man, I'm just a righteous man, a righteous black man.
No.
Anyways, listen, CM Punk, another righteous man, main evented last night on Collision.
Huh.
He is a righteous man. He doesn't drink or smoke,
Shout out to whoever that was in the crowd that had that CM Punk is a man-child crybaby sign.
That made me laugh so much.
Listen, man, at the end of the day, that person paid a ticket to watch CM Punk, so who's the mark?
No, CM Punk is definitely the mark.
Absolutely not. He main evented against Ricky Starks, absolute Ricky Starks, and it was the finals of the men's Owen Hart Cup tournament. Ricky Starks made it to the finals after beating Juice Robinson and Will Hobbs. CM Punk made it to the finals after beating Satoshi Kojima and Samoa Joe. And so this match, kind of got underway with about 20 minutes to go. Super heat in the building. They were really into this. Like they had, the crowd was super hot for this. There was some boos for CM Punk. Punk got a couple of boos, and the crowd was pretty.
Some in a couple.
Yeah, like
that. I don't know how the beginning calls the personality.
Yeah,
that shit hit, and all your
boo. It was great.
Yeah, man.
We got some fuck CM Punk chants in the building last night. Oh my god! When I tell you I had chills, brother, the hairs on my forearm were standing up.
And they definitely stood up for Phil too. I mean, look, he saw the sign that he saw the sign and he popped for it. Like you saw him, he was fucking like he was overjoyed. He loves getting booed.
He was crying on the inside. No, that's just his.
That's
the company line that Phil loves being booed. This is what Phil told Ebu to put out on air to hopefully get people to stop. They're never gonna stop Phil.
Anyways, Punk and Ricky locked up, and the crowd was there was people there for Ricky, there was people there for Punk. I thought the early exchanges were very snug and sharp, and I enjoyed it. Very just classic pro wrestling. Punk likes to call his matches in the ring. He's not a call in the back guy, so they were just kind of figuring their way out as they went through this whole thing. And like I said, I thought the early exchanges were solid. They were kind of just riding the heat and going from there. Some fun early stuff. Punk clearly starts to like slowly lean a little heel to go with the crowd. Again, like I said, they were really into Ricky Starks. In the closing stretches of this match in the final minutes, things weren't as tight at all. There was a very brutally performed tornado DDT by Ricky Didn't really. He kind of like rolled weird and like the landing was kind of off. Um, but besides that, Ricky does his power.
Talk about that pile driver.
What about the pile driver? That was a good spot.
Where Punk almost blew out his knee on a
Oh,
pile
he
driver
did.
somehow.
So Punk does a sit out pile driver to Ricky Starks, and if you go back and replay it, right, his right leg lands in this weird twisty way where like if he was just an unluckier man, he would have like blown his knee out, which would have been a crazy freak accident, but thankfully that didn't happen. He does a pile driver, sit out one. Ricky does that power spear, and I gotta say, Ricky's spear is great. Like
Look, man,
it's a really good spear.
Ricky Spears is something that um I can definitely respect. But
Right.
go ahead. Before I get into
So
it,
he
go
does a
ahead.
spear, and Punk goes out the ring, and when Ricky attempts his second spear, Punk turns it into a mounted guillotine, and Ricky like put his foot on the rope, and from there, Ricky gets to the top rope. Punk does a Frankensteiner, and then the Frankensteiner gets turned into a couple pin counters, and then Punk gets the win. I'm sorry, not Punk. Ricky Starks gets the win, and Ricky got the win grabbing the rope. So he cheated to get the win. He celebrates. The crowd is super into it. Punk is exasperated. He's shocked. He's surprised. And then Ricky runs up the ramp and he grabs the trophy from Jushin Liger's hand. Jushin Thunder Liger made the trip to be here. And Ricky rips it out of his hands as a sign of disrespect. He celebrates, and the show goes off the air with that. I thought this match was very heated. I thought it was generally well worked. I thought CM Punk was like pretty clearly the better wrestler. But this wasn't great, and if that's what they were going for, they did not reach it. And sometimes it just works out like that. I thought Ricky was solid, but I personally would have liked to see like more from him in the sense that winning this, you'd presume like it's because they see something in him on a higher level, right? Like they see him as like a super duper big time main event player, right? And I will say in AEW there is a working standard if you're going to be on that tier, right? And I'm fine with Ricky Starks. I like Ricky Starks as a wrestler and as a worker. But if you're going to be positioned in that level and you're going to pin CM Punk, I need to see more from you than that. And I thought he just kind of stayed at what he's at, which is a good wrestler. And I personally didn't see great. And so, because of that and the fact that Punk just lost before wrestling Jay White and MJF, I thought that was kind of frustrating. Again, I thought the match was good. I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was like some people on social media thought it was like a terrible match, and I thought that was a bit of an exaggeration for sure.
That
That's
was
just kind
the
of
that was overwhelmingly the sentiment coming from social media from people that don't even have anti CM Punk agendas. Why do you think that is, Hangman?
yeah. I don't know. All I know is that the way I came up, if a match has heat and the people are super into it, and it had the drama that this match had. I mean, if nothing else, it's not a bad or a garbage wrestling match. I mean, taste is one thing, and wrestling is absolutely subjective. But I've seen matches that are like awful, and that this would not qualify as that. Now where you want to slate it between okay, mid, good, bad, great. That's for debate. But I don't think it was a terrible match at all. And I thought the initial cage match rating was just an absolute overshoot at the 3 range that it was at. And it's since shot up to about 6.7.
Before I give my thoughts on this match, I want to ask you a question. We are going on. How long has CM Punk been in the territory now? Going on 2 years.
Yeah, he's been
Yeah.
back for close to 2 years now.
So we're going on 2 years of CM Punk in AEW.
Yes.
Still hasn't been pinned clean. I want to ask you, Ibu, who are 3 people who you think have a genuine opportunity to pin CM Punk clean?
Jay White and MJF
That's it.
right now.
I don't hate
I
those
can agree
answers.
with that.
I don't hate those answers.
And yeah, and those are correct choices to me. And because of that, that's why I didn't really want Ricky to go over, because it's like Punk opened up episode 1 of Collision basically saying like, until anybody can fill these boots and prove they're better than me definitively, I'm still going to be here. And I'm like, okay, that's a great setup. That's a great setup for Jay White and Max to gun for him, while CM Punk in the intermediary period shows that he's still the man and beats people. And I obviously this is CM Punk's call, right? To lose to Ricky Starks, he believes in him. He spoke to ESPN and Mark Ramondi like right before he came back and kind of cited him as one of the guys he wanted to elevate. So he sees something in Ricky. He wants to elevate him, right? It's his call. So clearly he feels like he can do that and simultaneously do this other stuff he's planned.
What do you
Uh,
think he sees in Ricky?
what do I think? I don't know. That's not for me to say. That's not for me to say. But he
I
clearly
mean,
sees.
I do not understand what he sees in Ricky because I
Well,
don't think that
really
man was
fast.
very good at all.
Someone in the chat. I'm sorry, Chuck, not to cut you off, but someone in the
Sorry.
chat said Mox pinned him clean, and by the
He
rules of
did.
pro wrestling, he did technically pin him clean, but Punk was heavily protected with the foot injury, so it's not like Mox was the better man, beat him, I win. That's not really how that was presented. So that's not really pinning someone clean. That was, oh, my foot's fucked up. Mox didn't really do
Yeah.
this to me. I did it to myself.
When I
So
think about it, though, top drawing superstar main event babyface wrestlers, most of the times they usually have an out of some kind to some degree when they lose. You
yeah,
know,
yeah, for the most part.
most of the time.
But everybody gets pinned clean eventually, somehow, some way.
Yeah, and Punk won't be any different. And like I said, that's why I'm just not. I'm not gonna bash the decision. I'm just trying to understand the mindset and see where they're going with it. And I guess for that, time will tell, and we got to see what happens with Ricky. But all I'm gonna say is I hope that they do something with this to make it worth it. You know what I mean?
let's
Uh,
let Chuck get
go
off
ahead,
what he
go
was
yeah,
about to say.
yeah, go ahead, Charlie.
Yeah, I don't know. We were like 4 minutes into this match, and I said on the stream, I was just like, I don't think they have the chemistry. Like, I don't think they have very good in-ring chemistry, especially not to call it in the ring like the way that it seemed like they were.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt really clunky. I just didn't enjoy it, and like, I'm not actively a CM Punk hater. I like a lot of his matches. I thought him versus Joe was real grabs. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This really just did not work for me. Like. But it did kind of pop me that Ricky won because I was really not expecting it. So I was just like, oh shit, it's over. Like, I don't know, man. It just really wasn't my kind of match.
Yeah, I could totally see that perspective, and where I'm at with the whole thing is just what's going to happen now with Ricky Starks to justify this, and again, I have to just kind of trust the process and hope that we find that out soon. We'll see from there. Punk right now, he has a lot of open plot threads with people. He has the Samoa Joe situation to take care of. Ricky Starks cheated, and I wonder how that's going to be followed up on in terms of how Punk's going to feel about it, because on screen they're friends. But Ricky cheated. And there was also the point in the match where, if you remember, Punk was like gesturing for Ricky to get back in the ring, and Ricky was kind of like being like pissy about it.
I
And
looked
then,
down at my phone before that happened, and then I looked back up, and Ricky was like, "What the hell was that?" And Punk was like holding open the ropes and shit. What was he referring to? Like, what did Punk do?
I'm not sure. I feel like I missed it too. All I know is Ricky walked
Yeah,
out
no idea.
pissy. Ricky walked out pissy, and then fucking
Mm-hmm.
Punk was like, "Yo, get back in ring," and he's just kind of like, nah." It's like, okay.
Yeah, I
Um,
was.
but,
This is
but the point is like that's done to show the dissension between them, and so I'm curious how that's followed up on. But interesting stuff nonetheless. And Ricky Starks is the winner of the Owens Cup. Shout out to him. Ricky and Willow are your own Cup champion winners. Two African American talents.
Look,
Shout out
man.
to
At the
them.
end of the day, two
Right.
African American talents won a tournament that is allegedly a big deal in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Which that can't be understated.
No.
Yeah.
For as a person, happy for Ricky. As a fan and a person, I'm really happy for Willow. Hated
Yeah.
that fucking match. Don't know why Ricky won here too. I don't know what's next for Ricky. I don't know. I don't know. I I'm not gonna harp on it too much because we always talk about how AEW has a big heel problem and is lacking heels at this like right now. We have MJF, we have Christian, and then we have the Blackpool Combat Club now, which helps a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
Takesha has also turned, but it's still not enough. Ricky could definitely help there. We have Swerve Strickland, who's been doing great work. Um, but yeah, it's I don't know, man. I'm not Ricky's in ring. I'm not a fan of Ricky Starks matches, bro. I'm not. I get he is an entertaining television character, especially as a heel. As a babyface, I don't really love the whole underdog shtick. I don't really love the whole when is it my turn shtick. I kind of fucking hate it, to be honest. But as a heel, Ricky on screen is definitely somebody I could get behind. His in
Mm-hmm.
ring work, I don't really know, man. It's not my cup of tea. The finish was really clunky. They tried Ricky was trying to reverse that top rope move, but Punk hit him like he hit him flush with it, and then Ricky was like, "Oh wait, I'm supposed to roll through." Then like 5 seconds passed, and Ricky rolled through. It's like, bro, it doesn't really work like that. Like you took the entire move, bro. Like you're supposed to sell at this point, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's not it wasn't a good match in my opinion. It wasn't really a good tournament overall. Roddy Joe is a match that's gonna stick with me for a long time. I rewatched it the
Yeah.
other day. Love that match. Love the post match angle. But other than that, I don't know. This year's Owen. I don't fucking know. If
I
you go ahead.
I I think it's a step up from last year in terms of being a focused, story-driven thing. I think that there's still work to be done, but I do think in some aspects it was improved upon. I like the
Hmm.
presentation of the thing. I like that they took time with video packages to give individual stories to the matchups and kind of contextualize everything. Um, really make it clear what everybody's motivation was going into the tournament. So I appreciate that. And I think there were some in-ring highlights. I thought Samoa Joe was great in this thing. His two matches with
Yeah.
Joe and Punk, he looked fucking tremendous,
Bitch
right?
aside, agendas aside, I didn't love the Punk match. I didn't.
I was a fan. I thought Joe was great in this tournament. I thought Punk Kojima was fun. I just Punk on an individual level. I enjoyed his work in this tournament as well. I thought Will Hobbs versus Dustin was good stuff. I thought that was a really good match. I don't know what happened with Will in the next match against Ricky, but
Yeah.
he was off to a good start with Dustin for sure. And with everything else, I mean, take it or leave it. It's pretty just kind of standard stuff. But again, for me, in terms of just being a more focused, story-driven tournament, this was definitely above last year because last year didn't have much of a story to speak of in general, and it was lacking from a presentation standpoint. So I say all that to say that I think it was a step up, but there's still work to be done. I mean, we look at the Japanese tournaments and how they're presented and how
Yeah.
they feel like different from like wrestling TV, like matches and stuff. There's still levels to reach, and I think that should
Like
be the focus and the
The
goal.
G1 press conference is an event of its own. Like people are
Yes,
Yeah.
live tweeting it, people are sharing the clips, people are like it's getting huge engagement, people are talking about it, people are saying what their favorite promo was of the tournament. And I get it. AEW television doesn't really allow that. But AEW is huge on social media. Like they're huge on like trying to get the social media content going, right? So
yes,
just do this and put it all
Yeah.
on YouTube, bro. Like
yeah.
what's
I'm
stopping us?
big
Like
on
it's just
press
a level of
conferences.
the only thing that's stopping us is a level of care. Honestly, like get people in early one day before Dynamite taping, and then just before call time, and then just get this done, bro. Like
I agree,
it
bro.
would make the tournament feel a lot more important. Like these little vignettes about why winning the Owen would mean a lot to someone or what Owen Hart means to them.
Hmm.
I don't like. God bless Owen and Martha Hart. The tournament was made for really good reasons. Uh, but I don't think Owen Hart needs to be the central focus for the reason why anybody needs to win this tournament. I think people need to want to win this tournament because they want to prove that they're the best in
Yeah.
AEW and it's their time to get pushed or whatever. I would say expand the pool, have an opening press conference, have an opening ceremony. It doesn't have to be on TV if you really don't want it to be, but I think you could get an opening ceremony in like a tight 15-minute quarter, and it would really up the importance, and it would really like people would know that if you win this tournament, good things are gonna come. Like Adam Cole won last year, right? And he was already treated like a top guy, if not like right under a top guy before going into the tournament, right? And I
Mhm.
think it was a situation where they were just like, well, Adam Cole did some jobs on pay per views, and he's gonna do some jobs on some more pay per views for now. Let's get him to win. Let's let him win something, and that's really what the Owen felt like. Like it didn't really. I don't know, man. Like what did Britt Baker winning the Owen do? Like did
Yeah,
it make it more prestigious? Did it elevate
bro.
her? Did
Listen,
it? I don't.
I agree. I hate like these things, these like almost fake accolades and fake accomplishments in wrestling. It's why like I disconnected from WWE Survivor Series when it just turned into like who's the better brand, Raw or SmackDown? Who cares?
No
Like
one cares,
who
bro.
fucking cares? Like what does it mean when the show is over?
Yeah.
But yeah, nah, I'm big on presentation. I'm a whore for presentation, man. Just press conferences, bro. Even the Triple H regime, WWE is doing press conferences, and they're like actually like really fun.
Yeah.
Um, just do them. Do press conferences, do a ceremony, change the ring ropes for the apron or something like that. Do something like around the ring to make it look like it's a tournament match and just not another TV Dynamite or Collision match.
I just don't want
Yeah.
this to turn into the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale,
Yeah.
bro, where it was
Mm,
treated seriously for 1 year. Claudio Castagnoli won it, and
mm.
then everybody's just like, okay, fuck this.
Yeah. No, I totally see that, and I
And I
absolutely agree.
wish this year that they put more of a focus on the women's side, because like all these video packages for the men's side was like great. And like I feel like overall like Willow winning was a bigger moment than Ricky winning, and they didn't really
Absolutely.
put any focus on like building up to the women's tournament. That's like the major gripe I have with it this year. Like there's so much more they could have done to make the women's presentation match the men's, but
Yeah, when I think about
so
it, if it wasn't for Willow winning in that moment, that whole women's bracket would have been just a total waste of time, like a total
Waste
like
of
nothing,
time, bro.
like a total nothing deal. You know what I mean? But yeah, shout out to Willow. Like I said, there's much more work to be done when it comes to these tournaments, and hopefully they can take more steps next year.
yeah.
But that was
I
Collision.
will be right back.
Sure,
All
that
right.
was Collision. While Charlie's gone, then let's touch on Noah AO because on July of 15th, Kento Miyahara passed by to settle an old grudge with Katsuhiko Nakajima, his old training buddy. They have a rivalry,
His
and
old
they had some.
trainer. Let's get it right.
they they had a lot of feisty back and forth interactions this year because this year has been the year of a lot of interpromotional events, and Kento Miyahara has been on the opposite end of matches with Katsuhiko Nakajima, and every interaction has been very fiery, and very spirited and very contested, and it's left fans wanting the singles match, and they didn't get it until finally the match was booked, and Kento Miyahara is the ace of All Japan Pro Wrestling, which is at this as currently constituted as a smaller company than Noah.
It's an indie
Um,
fed.
relatively speaking, yeah, basically. But the thing is, one thing you'll learn very quickly when you watch Kento Miyahara, especially outside of his own All Japan setting, is this is not a case of big fish in a small pond.
No, not at all.
He absolutely is as a wrestling star. He
Yeah.
just chooses to be where he's at because he goes in these buildings in Korakuen or wherever, in other companies for Noah shows and stuff, and they know who he is and they
The
treat
crowd
him
was
as a star.
electric for him last night,
Yes,
bro. The
bro.
crowd.
Listen,
I don't know. I don't understand why it doesn't like turn into drawing power. Like I'm not saying that he doesn't do great business for All Japan because if he left, I think they'd just be completely dead in
it'd
the
be over.
water.
It'd be
But
over.
like they were like I think they did about 2K in Kurikan last night. I don't
Yep.
understand. Like why doesn't this like obviously Nakajima versus Kento is a
He's
huge
gonna
event
garner interest.
that's gonna bring people in. But everybody in the stands knew who Kento was. They were all
Yeah.
chanting his name during his theme. It's like
Kento,
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 Miyahara,
Kento.
Kento.
Like yeah, so like I don't know why these people aren't going to the All Japan shows. But go ahead, Hangman.
Yeah. So the point I'm making is like, Kento is just listen, and the thing is, he doesn't get swallowed up by the moment or feel like inferior when he's in there with like the quote unquote real stars either. Because God, dude, the All Together Again tag, that big charity show where everybody like linked together,
Yeah.
he's across from guys like Okada and Tanahashi and people like that, and he doesn't feel like he's small. Like he feels like he's right there with all those guys. And so that's a credit to him for being able to feel that way and come off that way while being the ace of All Japan, which is a much smaller promotion than like the Bushiroad companies or the Cyberfight companies. But again, Kento Miyahara's had a great year. If you're somebody who's unfamiliar with him, he's somebody you definitely need to check out because all his big matches deliver. He's such a great big match wrestler, and this is as big as it gets for him this year. He faced Katsuhiko Nakajima. Nakajima is a hard hitting, hard kicking motherfucker. Someone who sometimes gets in his own way and gets in trouble for his way of doing things, so to speak. Sometimes he likes to kind of show people up and hurt them for real. But he is a hard hitting bastard, and he takes joy in doing so. He took on Kento last night, and they just had an epic match. Fucking 35 minutes long, and this was just hard hitting from the beginning to end. They are beating the hell out of each other. Very spirited, like you said. Korakuen Hall was super hot for Kento. Kento was dishing it. He wasn't just taking it; he was dishing it too, and he was kind of giving Nakajima the business, hitting him with stuff. They went on the outside. They did a bunch of punishing blows and things of that nature. But this got really epic. They were trading big backdrop suplexes, Saito suplexes, Germans, kicks to the head, chops to the head, chops to the chest. Like I said, just a bunch of hard hitting blows. And this match became great with like 15 minutes to spare, and it only got better from there. The escalation was crazy. By the end, it was an absolute fucking war. For my money, this was probably the best Noah match of the year. And
what's the competition with that? I don't have it on the top of my head.
um, Keno versus Kaito Kiyomiya at the
Yes,
beginning of
yes.
the year was
I don't know.
amazing.
I'm not gonna pick between those two matches. I love them both,
As I'm
but
saying, those would probably be the top two
yeah,
competition.
definitely.
And then under that is a bunch of matches that aren't on that level but are great. Like I have a bunch of like 4 pluses. You know, there's matches with what's it called? It really depends on your perspective for sure. But Keno's done some good stuff. Go Shiozaki's back. That Kenta tag at the beginning of the year was really good with Sugiura and Kojima against Kenta and I believe it was Marufuji. That was great. But yeah, I mean, look, Noah's had a bit of an up and down year, especially since the Muto retirement tour. But this is certainly the best match that took place on a Noah show since the beginning of the year for my money. I thought this was amazing, a match of the year candidate. I think everybody should check this out for sure. If you want to watch it legally, you got to subscribe to Wrestle Universe, and the show will be available for you. So definitely check it out. Hey, what did you think of this match?
What a fucking match, bro. 2 stars. Um, Nakajima, I don't know if I ever said this on air before, but Nakajima actually got me into Puro outside of New Japan. I saw a clip of a match that he had with Sugiura in 2017, I believe. He's my favorite male wrestler outside of New Japan. He's my favorite Japanese male wrestler outside of New Japan. Um, I just 2 stars, absolutely battered each other. Close fist punches to the face, big throws, huge chops, bro. The crowd was hot. That match was I felt like I was like elevating at some points during that match. I don't know if it's my match of the year. I'm I just it doesn't connect to me emotionally as much as the Omega Osprey matches are. I know people are gonna kill me for having that opinion. The pure perverts aren't gonna
No,
like
it's
that.
your
But
perspective. That's how it goes sometimes.
it's an amazing match. Nakajima is someone who I've been calling to leave Noah for over a year at this point because I don't think they have any interest in booking him how he should be booked. He's an absolute star. He's a killer in the ring. He's a shooter. He's marketable, a handsome guy, bro. Kento, I'm every time I watch him, right? I'm just like, why is this guy not in a bigger company? And I'm not for people that love All Japan. Don't come for me because I get it. Like he's big fish, small pond, but he's huge star. But he wants to be there. He wants to carry the All Japan flag on his back. And when he's given the chance, when he's given the ball in a larger stage, he always runs with it. And that's a credit to him. It's absolute. Parker always talks about how he's like one of the greatest, if not the best, male wrestler in the world right now. And when I watch him, I'm just like, yo, I can't say that's an incorrect opinion. Do I have him that high? No, not really. I would definitely have him in the what was our number one tier? The Hooper tier?
Beast. He's a
Yeah,
beast.
the Beast. Oh yeah, we killed Hooper. Is the Beast tier? I definitely have him in the Beast tier.
Kento
What a
Miyahara's
match! I'm gonna watch it back probably tomorrow while I'm getting work done. It takes I'm not the type of person to watch wrestling matches multiple times, bro. Like it takes like a match gotta touch my spirit for me to watch it back, bro. But that's definitely a match I'm gonna watch again.
And speaking of the beast here, man, like I'll say it now. When I'm watching the G1, right? There's certain matches that got like very good, and there's certain wrestlers who are still kind of on the come up that are trying to get to a certain level that I think some people are maybe prematurely putting them in certain conversations that it's almost unfair to them to put them in right now. And I think watching like a Kento Miyahara and a Nakajima who are like more polished and have been doing this for a while, I think that's your benchmark. I think for like what an actual like beast in the Puro world looks like. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
absolutely.
And you know, it shows you sometimes like what the level is. You know what I mean? For the top tier for sure. But yeah, this is a match that everybody should definitely check out, including you, Charlie. I think you should definitely check this
Yes,
dance.
it's on my list.
Mhm.
I haven't seen a lot of either talent, so I
Mhm.
wanted to like check out a few more matches from both of them before I watch this one. So I know what I'm going into. But it's
Right.
on my list to watch. So
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It's
Nakajima's a killer, bro. Could you imagine him?
I've seen a couple of Nakajima matches. Like he seems really good.
he's a psychopath.
Imagine him in the Inoki era, Hangman.
Ayo,
He'd be like a 5-time
yeah. So
IWGP
the thing is,
heavyweight champion, bro.
he would have kicked Hashimoto in the face for real. They would have fought for real, like in the Tokyo.
Oh my
And
god,
Inoki would have slapped him in the ass and been like, "Good shit," you know.
that is.
That's what would happen. And
He
yeah,
might not even be a 5-time champion because Inoki would never take the belt off him. So I'm like, it would.
that nigga would have ran the fucking late '90s, early 2000s, you know. So for sure, man. Shout out to Katsuhiko Nakajima. Please stay out of trouble so I can continue to watch you because you're a great wrestler.
Facts.
Yeah. All right. So before we get into the G1, let's touch on TripleMania. TripleMania was yesterday. One of the fake TripleManias, not the real TripleMania.
Yeah.
And interesting show to say the least. You know, TripleMania is in a very interesting place right now. I'm not going to say I'm an expert on the promotion, but I am tapped into a degree because I'm a closet lucha observer this year. That's what I've been doing. It's my little thing that I've been doing in the background after.
No, we don't believe you actually.
No, for real. I've really sunk my teeth into CMLL this year because I just enjoy it so much, and it's unfortunate that it's not super accessible. I mean, there's free videos on their YouTube channel, and a lot of the Friday Arena Mexico shows you can catch some of their stuff on YouTube. But the big shows you got to pay, and it's just harder to find and access than like AAA. But the point I want to make is, you know, now that we're out of the post-pandemic world in Mexico, the Arena Mexico shows are super hot for CMLL, right? And it's just fun to watch, simple but really well executed, well wrestled wrestling. They have so many good wrestlers. I mean, Mystico is a fucking god in Arena Mexico, and between guys like him and Titan and Soberano Jr. and you know, just guys like that, fucking Cavernario, Templario, fucking Hechicero. There's so many good guys in CMLL right now. It's a very underrated promotion, but all year it's been very consistent. And I bring them up to say what has not been the model of consistency is AAA. Conan is kind of running wild, and certain guys are kind of just leaving the promotion, and there's some tumultuous stuff there. And the people who would know, the people who are considered the lucha experts, have not been high on the promotion this year. But nonetheless, last night was TripleMania, and it seemed to be more of the same in that regard. A bit of an up and down show, a lot of craziness. But at the end of the day, Kenny Omega was there, and he wrestled Elio Del Vikingo in the main event, and so that's what people were tapped in for, especially the the American viewers, because it was a rematch of their highly lauded match from Dynamite. Do you guys have any highlights from this show before we get to that main event? Was there anything that caught your eye from Triple?
Bro, that QT match. Oh my god. People are gonna think I'm memeing when I say I liked that match more than I liked the FTR Bull Club Gold Tag match, and I'm not, bro. Like that shit was a car crash in all the best ways possible. Mm-hmm. Pentagon Jr. is a god in Mexico. There's no Cero Miedo spamming. There's no I'm taking off my glove for 5 minutes. It's just I'm gonna kill you. And he's also willing to take insane bumps. Just, I need this Penta on TV. Like, people can blame Tony Khan all they want for how Penta is presented in AEW, and yes, he does bear some fault. But Penta also is just like, I'm where? I'm in North Carolina. I'm gonna chill. How many settlementos you want? 17? I got you. And it's just like, I wish that he would be like the Lucha Underground / AAA Penta. Because he's just like, there's Penta in Mexico. There's fewer that feel like bigger stars than anywhere in the world than him. What a fuck! They're trading light tube shots, bro. They're taking power bombs onto tags. Penta went through
barbed
two
wire
tables,
chair.
barbed wire chair, unprotected headshot, bro. Oh my god.
Like, Penta was like pissing blood like 5 minutes into this match. It was
mask
crazy.
Was completely off. That forehead was squirting blood. I'm not even a deathmatch guy, bro. Like, I'm not I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those people that are like, oh my god, death matches have some sanctity and respect for the sport. If there's like a story,
Oh yeah.
like, or there's a reason why this is going on, or if this is just really good, really entertaining grabs, I'm gonna fuck with it, bro. And it's unfortunately we don't really get that in America. Like the indie deathmatch scene here is really shit. It's really just who could just do like the most disgusting thing possible to get the most viral reaction on Twitter or
Yeah.
most visceral reaction from the
from,
crowd. Like
from,
I remember
from dudes who
somebody put a syringe in someone's dick like a couple months ago,
from
bro.
from
Like
dudes who look like they work at Walmart. You know?
yeah, bro. From dudes who look
Yeah,
like they're working,
sorry.
who look like they bag groceries and shit. It's just like I'm not trying to see that shit, bro. But like shit like this, that was real grabs last night, man. I loved that shit.
Yeah, I think
So
Pentagon, he's such a beast when he wrestles in Mexico. It's just like a perfect setting for him. That Russo-esque like AAA chaos fits him in a weird way, you know, because like just he can have these awesome bloody matches. The crowd like sees him as a superstar. He takes me back to Penta before AEW, and he was a single superstar before he came over and just became a tag wrestler.
yeah.
So shout out to Penta, and I guess shout out to QT for continually getting himself booked on these shows.
Dead Max Wrestler QT Marshall,
He
man.
has a
He showed out last night.
He
he
did,
certainly
bro.
he certainly has a talent for just getting booked on shows and getting himself in places. There is a skill in that, and from what everybody's saying, these guys went absolutely crazy, and I'm gonna check that out. That was the match that I missed yesterday, but I will absolutely watch that one.
It was good shit.
But the main event, guys, rematch for the AAA Mega Campeonato. Kenny Omega versus El Hijo del Vikingo. Like I said, rematch of their big time Dynamite match. And I think these guys delivered again. It was very different from the Dynamite match, actually,
Completely different.
because the Dynamite match was an exhibition. It was almost like we wanted to showcase what Vikingo is as a wrestler to the American audience. And so he was just kind of showing out and trying to wow them with like all the cool creative things he could do. And in this match, it was scaled back to a slight degree when it comes to like him doing all that theatrical crazy stuff. A bit more of a story in the match in the sense that Kenny Omega decided to just kind of work a heel leaning punishing style. He was the bigger man, like by a wide margin, so he is just kind of being the Goliath to Vikingo's David, and he was beating his ass and throwing him all over the place and triggering him and doing all that type of stuff. And it made for really exciting and electric comebacks from Vikingo. He had these really cool comebacks. Yeah, it was just very explosive, and the closing stretches were really exciting because, of course, they'd be with the guys involved. I thought this was really fun. I really enjoyed this. I thought this was a very good match. Personally speaking, even though like it was more like traditional, you'd think for like my taste that I'd actually prefer the more traditional, coherent style for a match, and I that would normally be the case, but I still think that the Dynamite match is still better. It got like more time to just kind of be. What's up?
Last night on stream, I thought you were saying you would like this match more. You changed your mind?
No, no.
No,
I
I was saying that I like the
Charlie was
AAA
saying that.
match more.
Oh, okay. I thought Hangman was saying that too.
Yeah, no, I didn't think it was quite as good. Even though like this type of match structure would appeal to me more normally speaking, but like there was just something so novel and unique and interesting about like the Dynamite match literally just being all right. Here's 25 minutes. Look at this
Get
motherfucker.
all your shit in and
Get
let
all
these fans go crazy.
Yeah, literally just you've never seen him before. Do everything you know and see how these people react to it. And they're like, what the fuck is all of this? When that dude was doing fucking springboard backwards poison ranas and shit, and it was like, what am I watching? You know, but that's not to take away from this. I still really like this match. It was a bit of a sprint. Like it was only about 15 minutes, and it was just kind of go, 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 go. Awesome stuff, man. I loved it. What did you think, Charlie?
I really like this. I think I like this one more than the Dynamite one, just because it was such a different dynamic. And Kenny was so in his element here. Like the character work he was doing was just top notch, man. There was some like really cool spots. Like there's always going to be cool spots in a Vikingo match, like no matter who he's wrestling. But yeah, man, I just really enjoyed this. I thought it was a great time. I do wish it was a little bit longer, but I'm sure they're going to have another match down the lines, and that will be like the balls to the wall, like crazy ones. So it's a good time, man. Definitely worth watching if you haven't seen it.
I would like a mix of 1 and 2 for the third one with like more time to be like epic also.
Yeah.
and that'll be probably their definitive one. What did you think of this match, AO?
So I love this fucking match. I might just throw down that 5 on the spreadsheet, but in all seriousness, I think when you try to have a match like this, when you try to tell a story where Kenny's in full anime villain mode, where he's getting heat, they're not really just doing moves or whatever. You definitely need more time to get the best match possible out of this setup. And they kept that like a tight 15. I didn't look at the official time, but it felt like a tight 15. Um, it definitely would have benefited more from going like 25 minutes in my opinion. But
Yeah.
I love this match. I don't feel shortchanged at all. It's definitely a match that's gonna stick with me. One of my favorite matches in all of Vikingo's catalog. Um, Kenny Omega is greatest wrestler of all time in my summation.
Oh, absolutely.
I can't say it enough. We are blessed to live in the era of Kenny by God Omega,
Yeah.
the god of professional wrestling. He's doing this on Saturday. He's flying to Boston on Wednesday. He's gonna have blood and guts. It's gonna be the greatest War Games match of all time. It's gonna Kenny's gonna whip out his BCC, nigga. And I'm not talking about Blackpool Combat Club.
Oh
I'm talking
God.
about big Canadian cock. And he's just gonna slap the BCC with that bitch, bro. It's gonna be 2 5-star matches in 1 week. Kenny Omega is gonna be the first professional wrestler to have a 5-star match in Mexico, America, Canada, and Japan in the same year. All right, never been done before. In the what, like 300 years that professional wrestling has been a thing? Like, come on, man.
Big Canadian cock is fucking crazy.
Cry.
I wasn't ready for that. Like, I just wasn't.
Like, I really didn't know where you were going, and you just rolled straight through it. I was just like, oh my God.
Look,
man. That's just crazy.
Look, man, pause, but it is what it is, man. I'm not here to tell lies. I love that match. I love Kenny Omega. I love Vikingo. I think his selling was great. He was doing a great job of getting sympathy as a babyface. You don't really see him in that underdog setting too much. I think this is like only like the second match that I've seen him like getting battered and like people are just like beating him up and he's like trying to have like the big babyface comebacks. Like for as small as he is, Vikingo controls the majority of his matches. Like he's that big of a star in Mexico. Like his star power just dwarfs most people, and he has like the most like dynamic offense, like aerial. Like we all voted him high flyer of the year. Like so, it's just like, would you rather see him sell? Would you rather see him do this springboard 630 or this imploding 450 off the middle rope? Like so, it's just so it's seeing the different side, like seeing anime villain Kenny Omega after him being a babyface now was a breath of fresh air. Even though I love babyface Kenny, and then seeing Vikingo just like as the underdog was really refreshing, bro. I love that match. It was great shit.
The spot where Vikingo like just caught Kenny mid-air, I was just like, bro, you never see him display his strength like that. It was fucking nuts.
Yeah, no. And it's like he does that catching spot, but Kenny Omega's like shoot what 220, 225. Like Vikingo might be what like 165, 170 maybe. Like that was great, man. He's a special talent. He's a special talent.
And not to be like a time whore or a time freak, you know, personally speaking, right? Like these types of lucha matches in AAA, I actually prefer them be brisk like this, like be this short, because like when especially like on these matches when you can't hear the crowd sometimes, like once you get 20 something minutes in, it's for me, I kind of start to disengage when they're just tacking on moves that don't necessarily make the match any better or worse. It's just continuing to happen, and that's just my personal perspective. That's why, like let's say like a Laredo Kid is fighting Vikingo or like something like that. Like 13 minutes where they just do everything is fine for me, right? But with that said, with this match, because Kenny's such an engaging wrestler and he has so many tricks in his tool bag, right? I would not have minded him going longer because he's one of those wrestlers who can fill time with compelling stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I really dug this, and I want to see them wrestle again. And it was a great main event to close a TripleMania show that was interesting to say the least. That you know, the lucha community wasn't very happy with, but I mean, at least our side of the fence enjoyed QT and Penta. So
Look,
shout out
man,
to those
Lucha
guys.
Bros. I'm not talking about the tag team. I'm talking about the internet wrestling Lucha community. I'm sorry you didn't enjoy the show. Sorry you didn't really enjoy the ambulance match. Sorry that Kenny versus Vikingo didn't make up for it for everything else that happened. But hey, I ate good. Let's. I
That's
want
good.
to actually let's talk about Don Callis getting
Oh
attacked
my
by a
god.
fan, bro. The more I watch this video, the more I notice. Hangman, you heard about this, right?
Yes, wrestling's back.
So Konosuke Takeshita pulled up to Mexico. And him and Don Callis attacked Kenny Omega after the match. Um, and a security guard went to break it up, right? And Don was pushing photographers, pushed the security guard. I'm positive the security guard knew it was a work. And then, if you look in the very corner, you see another fan thinking, yo, who's this old white guy attacking the security guard? Like, I gotta help. Then he comes, he like sweeps
So,
Don's leg.
would you be able to put this on screen?
Yeah, I could definitely put it on screen. It's not gonna affect us.
Let me like. Wait,
I
hold on.
actually have the tweet up.
Oh,
So
wait. But before you do it, I'm gonna advertise. I'm gonna say I am live. I'm gonna tweet so dumb. I am live reacting to Don Callis being attacked by a fan.
all right.
I spelled reacting wrong. Hold on.
Hey man, it is what it is.
Wait. Let's post a link.
While we let some people come in,
Yeah.
I'm gonna touch on some super chats.
Yeah.
Keep the super chats coming in, y'all. We appreciate it. Oh my fucking god, bro.
My big muscular lawyer man is a man of God.
I'm not sure who he's referring to. Shout out to William Regal. Please get a new Avi. The homie Shot Town Spurs $2 super chat. The Julia Hart Andrade feud is popping me. Not gonna lie. Yesterday night was a step in the right direction. People wrestling. Post match. Post match stare. It's fine. Last week was just terrible television in my opinion.
Yeah.
But if they could stay on this track, I think it'll definitely pick up when it's Roosh and whoever the third man is gonna be. Hey man, who do you think the third man is gonna be?
For what?
For
Team
LFI.
Andrade?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It won't be Pero Peligroso. I'll tell you that.
Do you think Drilistico has a chance or nah?
He has a chance.
I think he's been fine in AEW, bro. Like I think people kind of circle jerk with how much they talk down on him. He's been fine.
He's not bad. His biggest crime is not being as good as Bandito, Ray Phoenix, or Elio.
No, you know what his biggest crime is? His biggest crime is not being Dragon Lee.
Yes.
People are so mad that Dragon Lee went to WWE, and then we quote unquote got Drilistico, and they're just like, yo, fuck this guy.
Yep.
Big Hunter $2. Both winners of the Owen Cup are black. Let's go, 100%, man. Black excellence. Charlie's uncle, BJ Boris Johnson, $5 super chat. Interesting that's not pounds, but like me, CM Punk is an outstanding man of moral fiber. Joe, tell Nate Dino not at home. We'll tell Joe Holbert that BJ his best man at his wedding popped by. Last fan 84 $2 super chat. Dream match for me. El Desperado Penta death match. That would be amazing.
God. Yes.
Unfortunately, it's never going to happen unless something crazy happens.
I need that both in Japan and in Mexico.
Facts.
Quick side note. Speaking of Dragon Lee, AO, he's not him. The man across from him is going to have a legacy game. This week they're doing Dragon Lee and Nathan Frazier versus.
Wait. Like Nathan Frazier needs a legacy game. He hasn't been hooping.
No. Listen, it's a tag. It's Dragon Lee and Nathan Frazier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, listen. So it's Dragon Lee and Frazier versus Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, and I have some mild news to relay. So the Hunter regime, right? They weren't pushing Garza like particularly that much at all, and it was kind of weird. But like, so here's the thing: they will grant your release if you ask for it, right? But again, Hunter doesn't want to really like let people go. Like he'd rather not do that. And with Garza, they basically were like, we're gonna send you to NXT, and we want you to like get your confidence back and prove that you're like really good, because like we think you are, but like we have to see. I guess that's their stance. And so yeah, he's being positioned here to have a great match. And so yeah, man, we'll see what happens. But he's gonna be in the ring with Frazier and Dragon Lee, and those are like the two best wrestlers in NXT besides Dragunov. So that's gonna be interesting.
Garza Jr. is someone who had me tuning into Impact. To see him not doing anything with his life in WWE definitely hurt. He's like the poster child for no, don't go to WWE, it'll ruin your career. And it's I feel like things would be different if he went to AEW. Or just stayed with AAA and maybe went to Japan. I don't know, man.
I don't think he'd be pushed much in AEW either, to be honest, at this current point in time, to be honest.
That's not it. But if he was there since 2019, I think things would be different.
If he came in 2019, he would have been an active guy on the roster for like the initial run of the shows. You know what I mean? And then like once like better guys came in, he probably would have faded a little bit, and now he'd just be like the guy who's just been around, you know, and he's good.
I'm high on Garza Jr., man.
I like him too, but it's like, is he materially better than like Matt Sydal, who doesn't get time, and he's like great, like he's fucking great.
Yeah, I definitely know what you're saying.
I love
Matt Sydal.
That's what I'm saying. Matt Sydal's tremendous, and he doesn't get
on TV.
Time.
And Matt Sydal gets on TV.
Want Matt Sydal to have an international title run.
He's fantastic. Like he's literally great.
The only time he gets on TV is when his friends are like, "Yo, I want to work him," and then TK's like, "All right, here's a match."
In fact, you know what, Matt Sydal, you're a beast.
He definitely hovers in that tier. I would say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he hovers in beast. And so
right, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna get into the Don Callis situation because the people are starting to file in.
Yes, sir.
Anwar Starwin, $2 super chat. Y'all are Front Trios team. I appreciate it, man. It's been a good show. It's definitely been a good show. All right, I'm going to stream this clip so y'all can see what happened to Don Callis. Hold on.
This is my genuine reaction to the video, folks. I've never seen the video. I've heard that he got attacked by Finn. I have not seen how this played out.
This is going to be my first time looking at the extended version that was put in my replies. Hold on, let me present my screen. All right.
And after this, we will get into the G1.
All right. Can y'all see?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, let's get it. All right.
Wait. This is an angle, right?
Yeah, so this is an angle. This is Takeshi right here beating out Kenny.
Okay.
And then Callis is gonna pop up. Yeah, getting some stomps in. Look at the fans.
Wait. That was a fan right there?
This is a. I don't know if this is a fan or that looks like a photographer right there. But he's the one who took down. So
what's going on here?
It's a mess, bro.
What the fuck is happening? So, but that's the guy that decided to.
So this guy looked like he was smartened up. He was just like, hey, like we gotta break this up, like part of the work, right? And then this guy, the khakis, like took down Don, like swept his leg. I'm gonna play another angle. This is the angle that I tweeted earlier. So.
Get up! Hey, get them! No! What, Conan?
And then he gets some stomps, and he's like pushing him back. And then you see the khakis guy. You see the khakis guy like shoot the leg and bring him down. And he has him in like a chokehold.
That's fucking.
Get up! Hey, get them! No! What, Conan?
I love pro wrestling.
I know Don's older, but like I'm not seeing what happened here that like he had to go to the hospital.
I don't. Maybe the video didn't catch it. Maybe that's a bit of embellishment.
Yeah, maybe he's embellishing. Maybe he's working the sheets.
That'd be amazing if he worked the sheets. He's like, I got stabbed. I was assaulted.
Kenny Omega got me stabbed in Tijuana, Mexico.
He is absolutely going to
make
cite
it
some
for bloody
promos.
guts.
That would be great shit.
I'll have you know that I was stabbed in Tijuana by that unsafe environment run by Conan. He just starts doing his thing.
By an assassin hired by none other than Kenny Omega.
That'd be hilarious. Oh man,
It's gonna start calling the elite fans unhinged. It's gonna be a good show.
Exactly. Speaking of unhinged, these fuckers were watching both nights of the G1 live, which is just kind of crazy. But love of the game, man. It's because we did that we were able to be tapped in and up to date with everything to be able to review it tonight. But we got both nights of the G1 underway, guys. And I'll just say overall, before we kind of get into the stuff match by match real quick, it's funny because on paper, I was much more interested in Block A in terms of the names being featured. And there's some of these other blocks that like had guys that like I didn't particularly care for. I wasn't like jumping to see their matches. But 2 nights in, it's interesting to see that those other blocks had matches where like some of the matches kind of overachieved, I thought.
Yeah.
Whereas like, so far, like Block A is just kind of like fine. But with that said,
well, the thing is, it's not Block A Day, Block B
yeah,
Day.
I'm aware. I'm aware.
All right.
Yeah, I'm aware. But yeah, man, two nights underway, and the stuff that I expected to be good on night 1 was good, and then the stuff that I didn't expect to care about, I didn't. And whereas for night 2, there's stuff that I didn't care about that ended up being good, and it was like, oh, okay,
ended up being like, come on,
you know. And so because of that, night 2 I thought was a more well-rounded show.
Yeah.
To just kind of run through some of these quick results. Yoshihashi defeated El Phantasmo in about 10 minutes. It was a Block B match. Just a match. Right. Gabriel Kidd beat the living shit out of Chase Owens before the bell, and then the bell rang.
That pre-match.
The beatdown was great.
That beatdown was great.
Yeah, man.
And then bell rang.
Yeah, Gabriel said, what did Juice Robinson say that got him canceled years ago? He was gonna do what to a Japanese woman? Well, I'm gonna do it to 3 Japanese women. I was popping huge.
It was just fucking unhinged, man.
Crazy.
Yeah, man. Gabe Kidd, I'm real high on Gabe Kidd. I thought his promo at the press conference was awesome. I think he's the next leader of Bullet Club, and I can't wait till we get to that point.
Yes.
He beat the living shit out of Chase Owens only for the bell to ring and for him to lose. And thought that was a bit concerning. I hope they don't do the angle of, cocky kid gets showed that, like, there's levels to the big leagues, kid. And, like, the whole, like, this is your first tournament, he's not ready shit. Hope they don't do that. Parker's of the belief that it's just one of those things where every G1 in the first night, they establish, like, the lower end guys with at least 1 win before they lose. And that, in this case, being Chase Owens. And tomorrow night, it's Shane Haste. We shall see. But Gabe Kidd lost to Chase Owens. Tangaloa defeated Kenta in a 12-minute match. This match has a 3.89 on Cage Match. I did not watch it because
I didn't actually catch it.
It was the longest 12-minute match of my life.
Yeah, I had no interest in this.
Don't watch it. It's not worth it.
Bro, whose idea was it to put Tangaloa in the G1, right? And then not only did they put Tangaloa in the G1, they were like, look, you've been out for a very long time. Make your in-ring return in the G1. So not only can your terrible work be displayed in the G1, but you could be rusty and out of shape on top of having terrible work. Like, why, bro?
It was rough. I'm happy for him that he's back and like he recovered fully from his injury.
Yeah, like good for him for recovering and being.
Come on, man! You did not need to be in the G1 this year. He's not the only person that didn't need to be in it, but
Hikuleo doesn't need to be in there. Like, during
there's a lot of
Chase Owens doesn't need to be in there.
Chase Owens doesn't need to be in there. Like, send these niggas to America, bro. Let them eat some pins on ROH or something during the G1.
I could rattle off like 7 guys I'd rather see in this tournament between El Desperado, Tom Lawler, Minoru Suzuki.
Let's get some CMLL heavyweights in the G1, bro.
Yeah.
To go. Like,
there's a lot of people. They could have made this.
I even want to see Kojima back in the G1, bro.
Kojima, I'd love to see. Yuji Nagata's had a good year with All Japan. The brief All Japan run he had, I'd love to see him again in the tournament. There's plenty of guys you could throw in this thing to take up space. I mean, we've seen G1s in the past. Like, they were great tournaments because, like, 90% of the guys in the tournament were, like, super workers. Yeah. And this year, there's a lot of, like, filler guys to kind of bloat the lineup. And it's leading to, like, matches that I'm not really trying to see. But, yeah, so that's what happened with that. One match I kind of want to delve into a bit was Ren Narita versus Shota Umino. This is their first match since being labeled Reiwa Three Musketeers. Pretty controversial, actually. When they got labeled this label, I mean, they're the first trio to get the label since Katsuyori Shibata Shinsuke Nakamura and Hiroshi Tanahashi in the early 2000s. And I mean, that's a lofty label to put on a guy. I mean, the first Musketeers are Keiji Muto, Masa Chono, and Shinya Hashimoto, 3 bona fide Hall of Famers in Japanese wrestling. And big label, big shoes to fill for those guys. But a lot of controversy, a lot of the talent weren't fans of the Office doing this. And so there's a lot to prove for Shota and for Ren.
And then even the talent themselves, not the talent themselves, even the Musketeers themselves were like, "Yeah, I don't want this shit." Because I think the locker room politics would have got kind of ugly if they were like, "Yeah, of course we're the fucking Musketeers. You see us, nigga? Like,
that's what I'm
we're
saying.
the best New Japan got." They were like even Shooter, who's kind of like supposed to be like the bright-eyed boy of the 3, was like, "I don't want this shit. Like, what the fuck? Don't insult me with this name, nigga." Like,
yeah. And so it was imperative for them to like show out and like kind of like prove the Office right, because if not, they'd be under heavy scrutiny, and it's going to continue this whole tournament for sure. But they were positioned on this night to have the like big epic wrestling match, and I thought that it was a good piece of business because of that, because they went pretty much the entire it was a time limit draw. And my evaluation is this. I think that both of these guys are good wrestlers, like work wise, right? I think Shota is actually very good, especially at like closing stretches and stuff. When it comes to the big stuff, I think he's very good. And in terms of look, I think he's done a lot to like look like a star. Like, he's in tremendous shape. He has a cool look. He looks like an upper tier like wrestler, right? He has a kind of Tanahashi-esque look. Ren, I think, leaves a little bit to desire from that standpoint. And also, I would say Ren Narita, for his style, if he's going to be a Black Trunks technical guy, I'd like his offense to be a little more like violent looking, to be honest with you. And especially if you counter this to like watching Nakajima, his shit looks kind of like soft, to be honest. Like, they're doing elbow strikes at the beginning of this, and like he not to be like a fucking like violence pervert or something, but like it looked
he could stand to lay it in a little bit more.
Yeah, they were doing like Monday Night Raw elbows, like it's just like you could cap that nigga if you're really trying to elbow this nigga. It's the G1, you know what I mean? But so that's my evaluation with that, and I would say that like both guys aren't there in terms of being superstars in terms of like charisma, I think, yet, and filling in the small gaps. But wrestling wise, they're very sound, and I thought this got very, very good towards the later stretches of the match. The counters were really good, the suplexes, the pins, and things like that, and this got really, really, really exciting. So this was the match of the night, probably for me. If I look at it, I didn't see the Ospreay match, but I thought this was really good. And again, I like it even more as a piece of business than as a match, because the point of it from New Japan's standpoint is to tell you that like these guys are the next ones, and this is why. What did you think of this, Charlie?
I really liked this match. I thought this was my favorite match of the night one as well. I put it above the Ospreay Taichi match just because of that match was so different, and like it was just like a different kind of match. I don't think it like reached the same level as this one, but I do think this draw is gonna like play into like their points at the end, and it's going to come back to bite one of them, and one of them's not going to qualify and the other one is. So I think it's really interesting, the story they're telling with it. They both look really good from it. So.
I'm going to be really engaged to follow that one. Ayo, what did you think of your boy Big Shooter taking on Ren Narita?
No, they're both my boys. First of all 3 of them are my boys. Pause. But I think I'm gonna just stay on these 2 right now. I think it was a great piece of business. They went and they had about as good of a showing as I could have asked them to. After New Japan put these lofty expectations on them, bro, they're both like 24 and 25, bro. And then Tsuji's like 29, but that's still very young in professional wrestling, relatively. I definitely think all 3 of them will develop into Hall of Fame talents. I think the New Japan front office hit a bullseye, named them through the Reiwa 3 Musketeers. They lived up to the expectations last night with that match. 2 nights ago with that match. It was good shit, man. It was good shit. The more Shooter's offense evolves, the more I love it. Like he's just learning new shit. Now he has an STF. He's learning more throws. He's learning more suplexes.
He's getting good at chaining moves together and
bro.
Too. Yeah.
Like
he's
after
he's
his match with
evolving.
Zack Sabre Jr., he really turned a corner, and he's just been improving ever since.
Hmm. For sure.
Yeah, that Zack Sabre Jr. match was great shit.
Yeah.
That was
Absolutely.
great shit. Y'all Hangman tried to troll me after that T-shirt Naito match, that stinky main event that I still haven't watched and I never will
The
watch.
match is fucking
And I was just
terrible.
like, look, man, Naito went out there. He's like, yo, we're having a 3-star match, and it is what it is. It is what it is. But he bounced back. He's a star. His music hits. He comes through the crowd. Everybody gets up. They start screaming. Men, women, and children. They all love Shooter, bro. He's on the right path. He's definitely on the right path.
Absolutely, absolutely. Uh, Following this was Okada versus Great Okan. Okada beat him. This was a Block B match. Match went about 15 minutes. I didn't see this. I don't know if you guys have anything to say about it,
I don't
but
have anything. It was a match.
yeah.
Okada's
And,
Okada.
It
Great
was,
Okan's Great Okada.
yeah.
right.
Okada's gonna be so funny in this G1. I think like there's some real potential with the character he's playing right now that he's just gonna be incredibly funny in all his matches.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to seeing how he does. I really wish he was in Block A to fight all the kids, considering his gimmick this year is fuck the kids.
Right.
Um,
I think that's definitely something they're gonna spread out over time, though. Like he's gonna get out his block. Kaito Kiyomiya is gonna get out of his block, and then Okada's gonna go fuck them kids mode. Kaito might win, bro. He might win. This might be the seed to be like, hey, you really having fun over there in Jake Lee's Noah? Like you wanna come over and play with the big dogs? Like it might just happen, bro.
That'd be crazy.
I wouldn't be against it. Noah's doing some very questionable things right now. I haven't watched like a regular show in a minute, but yeah, man.
Yeah, and so we followed that with what I thought was the second best match that I saw of the night, which was Kaito Kiyomiya and Yota Tsuji. Kaito's representing Pro Wrestling Noah.
Yes.
He's been in a year-long feud with Kazuchika Okada, and he's not in the same block as Okada, and so for him to get the long-awaited rematch after being absolutely fucking embarrassed by him, he would have to get out of his block. And so he's off to a good start, man. He beat Yota Tsuji. Yota Tsuji just recently came back from his excursion, got the Gene Blast gimmick. You know, he looks like a beast out there. He has all these cool power moves and high flying moves. He's a member of Los Ingobernables de Japón. And Yoda took on Kaito and he did some cool stuff. And ultimately, Kaito got to the better of him. I think Kaito is clearly like the better and more polished wrestler, which is crazy because he's only 26, right?
Yeah.
But like he's a stud.
Kaito's a prodigy, bro.
He's a prodigy.
He's absolutely a prodigy.
Yeah, and here's I don't know if this is a unique take on Yoda. This is kind of where I stand with him right now. I actually think out of the Musketeers, he's like the least good worker, but from a charisma standpoint, I think he's like by far the most charismatic.
He's nailed his presentation, but like his in-ring isn't like the tightest.
Yeah, and so it's why I get why New Japan's pushing him, because like that you can't teach that. You can't really teach it factor. You know, sometimes there's guys who are just very unassuming and plain, but they can work. And then there's guys who just have it, and you just kind of hope that their wrestling comes around. And he's not a bad wrestler by any means. He's just not where he's probably going to get to at some point, I'd imagine.
He did also get stuck in Rev Pro for fucking
exactly. He wanted to take a couple of years in Mexico, and he only got to spend a few months.
Yeah.
Who could you imagine?
Stop sending people over to Rev Pro, son. Like
it does nothing.
Like Rev Pro does some good stuff, but the excursions don't work. So
it's not working, bro.
Yeah, and so Yoda, what works for him, for me, is like he just comes off very enigmatic, and I enjoy that. And yeah, man, he did some cool stuff in here. Kaito looked really good, and ultimately Kaito came away with the victory, which was I guess surprising to some, but for me, I anticipate him coming out of his block because he has to face Okada, otherwise it makes no sense for him to be there. And so he got off to a good start, and I thought this match was very good. What did you think of
that? I like this match a lot. I'm a huge Yota Tsuji guy, probably the greatest professional wrestler of all time. Many are saying. Kaito, like you said earlier, absolutely a fucking prodigy. Tsuji, right, main event presentation. In any company in the world, he looks like a main eventer, bro. And he does the moves. He could do flips. He could do a moonsault, Fosbury flop. He could do a shooting star press, bro. Like freak athlete. He has all the slams. Like he's very rarely gonna be the smaller person in a match doing all those moves and shit, bro. Like, so it's just like, I there's he's gonna go really far in professional wrestling. I think all three of them are Hall of Fame talents. That the Musketeers, that is, and I love this match. I get why he did the job here. I don't really think any of the Musketeers are locks to leave their block. When we did our pick'em show on Purist, I don't think I picked any of them to leave actually.
Mhm.
So so to not leave, they're gonna take losses. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
And for Kaito to leave, he's gonna win matches. I know some people didn't love the decision. I was perfectly fine with it, bro. Just give me good match. I'm not really concerned with wins or losses with the War Dogs and the Musketeers. I just want them to be presented well and have good showings. And
and actively get better coming out
yeah,
of
and
the
actively
tournament,
get better.
Yeah.
you know, because that's what happened in the past with G1s. Dudes would come into the G1 a certain level, and after like every night of that shit, you do come out a better wrestler depending on how it goes. So
100%.
I that's what I want to see from those guys. Good stuff there. Will Ospreay took on Taichi. These two guys have great chemistry. They had a match earlier this year that I thought was like fantastic. Like it was fucking great.
Yeah.
They were doing they were having like an all Japan Kings Road style wrestling match, and I don't know if this was similar. I didn't hear the same level of excitement.
No, it wasn't anywhere near as
No.
good, but it was definitely was one of the matches of the night.
Mhm.
Billy was still selling his injuries from Forbidden Door. So for all you, he doesn't have any psychology freaks, suck a dick. It was definitely a good match. He took a Saito a backdrop driver from the top rope, bro. Like
Yeah.
this nigga is insane.
That's insane.
Yeah, bro. It was crazy. High
That's
angle, like
crazy.
it was definitely a great match. It didn't go long. I don't know. It might have been around 15. Something like that. It felt around 15.
17:43.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, it was I enjoyed the match, but it wasn't like an epic. I anticipated it being one of the matches of the night, but I think I said it had potential to be match of the tournament. I don't by the end of this thing, I don't think it's gonna be anywhere near that list, but it definitely was a good piece of business.
For sure. And the show was closed by Sonata and Hikuleo.
I did not watch.
It
Interesting,
was a match.
interesting match to close the show with. Sonata is the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, and yeah, he took on Hikuleo. They went 10 minutes. Sonata went over, and good for him.
It was just a solid match. It was like nothing to write home about. If you haven't seen it, you haven't got to go out of your way to see it, honestly.
Yeah,
There you have it,
I skipped this one.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
I'm a completionist. I just need the stats for my spreadsheet because I'm rating all the matches. So
I'll tell you. I'll tell you
Tap
what.
into Charlie's spreadsheet.
For
And like
sure.
the
yeah, have a
video,
look.
like
It's in my
the
link
boss said.
tree.
Yeah, like the video, guys. Like the video. We need to
Like
pay
the
our
video.
bills. But yeah, man. Night 2 again. I thought this was it's crazy. This has less names that on paper I'm into, but I thought this was a more complete, all around good night of wrestling for New Japan Wrestling. And there was 2 matches on this show that I thought were great. So we're gonna get into it. David Finlay opened up the show with Tomohiro Ishii. I'm not a big David Finlay guy, but Tomohiro Ishii, you plug almost anyone halfway decent or competent into his match, and he's just gonna have an Ishii match, and Ishii matches are always really good. And I thought this was a good match because of that. I don't know if anyone has any opinions on this, but it's just funny how consistent Tomohiro Ishii is.
That match was fucking awesome. It was so good. I don't think it was quite as good as a match from the New Japan Cup this year, but it was still like really fucking good. Like this is one, like I went back and watched it because we missed it because we were watching Kenny Vikingo, and David Finlay, man, he's going to prove a lot of people wrong in this tournament. It's going to be a good time.
Sure.
I don't know about that, Chuck.
Hey,
But
man.
I will
Hey,
say, I am quick to say that a great talent carried a lesser talent to a great match. But I don't think Finlay got carried here. I genuinely think he held up his end of the bargain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why he can't show this fire these type. I don't know why I can't have these types of matches with other good talent or with even talent that is maybe be around his level.
I think the 20-minute time limit is definitely really going to benefit him here because he's
Yeah.
not going to try and have these extended classics that like he doesn't really have the moveset to have at the moment. So I don't know. That's why I think he's going to do so well this tournament. Like the 20-minute time limit is going to be great for him.
New Japan and wrestling in general, right? When they're like, we're gonna go 30 or 35 or 40,
Mm-hmm.
the heat segments, they fucking suck, bro.
They're
It's
not. They're
just
not
like
great.
the heat segments aren't great.
Yeah,
For a
man.
pervert like Hangman who just jerks off to headlock takeovers and snug headlocks and some a little bit of chain. Actually, I like chain wrestling. Let me not throw that in there. Hangman's perverseness. I Yeah, man. I think we gotta. I don't know. Something's gotta change. But I like the match a lot. I think maybe I'm hoping this could be turning the corner moment for David Finlay. I don't think he's a bad promo. It's just
Mm-hmm.
my issue with his promos are I think he's actually a above average promo. My issue is when I'm listening to his promos, it's like okay, but I hate the way you fucking wrestle. So like, why should I care about anything you're saying right now? So if he can get the in ring together, I think I could become a David Finlay supporter. And if that ever happens, I will be telling y'all that I am the first ever David Finlay fan, and
This is not
Chuck used to
true.
bury him.
This is not
But
true.
we're
This
gonna
is
we're gonna
not
play it by
true.
ear. We're gonna play it by ear. He definitely has had a good start to the G1. I hope he can keep this going because I don't have an anti David Finlay agenda. I would like to like him. I would like to
Mm-hmm.
enjoy the leader of the Bullet Club like I have every other leader of the Bullet Club. But we gonna have to see.
He's in a really solid block, to be honest. Like some of the guys he's in there with, like wrestle is similar style to Ishii, so I think it's going to be great.
Shout out to Ishii, man.
Hell yeah, he's been having a great year. He's awesome.
He has a great year every year. He's like the most
Yeah.
consistent wrestler I've ever seen in
Yeah.
my life. Toriano had a bullshit match with Goto that he lost.
Ugh.
And that was followed by Mikey Nichols and Aaron Hanare.
What a match.
Hanare
Bro.
came out and he was sporting a bald head and had like the tribal Maori, I believe it is, design.
Maori's a try. I believe it's called Mataora.
Mm-hmm.
Is the name of the tattoo itself.
Yeah, and he had that over his mouth, and it was a very interesting look. And I thought this match was fucking awesome.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I loved it.
This match is hilarious because it's two guys that, like, you know, for all intents and purposes, like, you know, are seen as shitters by many. And you know, I actually kind of like enjoy Hanare sometimes, but like, and nothing against Mikey, I don't think he's a bad worker, but like you look at these guys, you're like, okay, this is one of those on paper matches that why should I care about this, right? And I was inclined to skip it. And then I watched the match, and it just popped me on every level. It felt like one of those like weird kind of 05 deep cut Puro matches where it's a little clunky, but like they're working so fucking hard and it's so randomly good. It's like, where did this come from?
Mm-hmm.
They're just beating the fucking shit out of each other. The elbows are like really stiff. This guy, Mikey Nichols, thought he was Roderick Strong, and he fucking the knees and the blows. They're headbutting each other for real.
Yeah.
Mikey Nichols
He got
splits
busted
his
open the hard
fucking
way.
head open.
Split his head open the hard way, bro.
He gets
and there was a
hard
lump on Hanare's head after the
Bro.
match, bro. There was a mouse on his
Bro.
It
forehead.
looked rough.
Bro, he gets hard way blood, and they're lariating each other, and they're hitting each other, and they're knocking each other loose and shit. I'm like, yo, this is fucking beast. To this point, was the best match of the tournament, and still might be. But the closing stretch is like, I couldn't believe my eyes. He goes for this inverted emerald flosion and fucking spikes Aaron Hanare on his head. It was basically like a shoot version of Misawa's rarely used emerald flosion Kai.
Yeah.
An absolute death blow. And wins with that shit. I couldn't believe what I watched. They tried to kill each other, and all the respect to them for it, man. Love of the game is a real thing, and I thought this match was awesome.
Yeah.
What did you think, Charlie? What did you make of this?
Bro, like I've watched this twice now because I rewatched it earlier when I was going back to watch matches I missed. It was like I wasn't like overly excited for it. Like I like Hinare, but like I haven't seen much of Mikey Nichols, so I was like, yeah, this might be okay. Like it will be alright to watch that on stream and that. And then they just went fucking nuts. Like I wasn't expecting any of that. Like I don't even know how long this match was. Like it was like what 14, 15 minutes.
This match was 12 minutes, Charlie.
Oh my
They
god!
squeezed that all in 12 minutes. They were like, because they were like launching each other into the barricade. They were doing like all these chops and fucking headbutts. That was 12 minutes.
12 fucking minutes.
Bro, like even more. I might have to change my score that I gave it then because that's nuts.
It's unbelievable.
Because I went over 4 stars for this because it was just incredible.
The flow of the show is helped by the time limit. I'll tell you that because some of these matches are just kind of getting to the point. You know what I mean? Rather than like just going, all right, let's just explore the space of 30 minutes. For some of these guys, it's like, all right, it's 20 minutes time. Let's get to the fucking point. And it still feels the way a longer match would feel, just without some of the like obligatory stuff that you would normally get in a match to fill time. AO, Mikey Nichols and Aaron Henare, what do you think, man?
I fucking love this match, bro. I was popping huge on stream last night. Bro, like, I don't think anyone saw this match on the match card and circled it for like, oh, I'm excited for this. Henare came out, whole new look, the tribal tattoos on his face, shaved his head clean. They as soon as the bell rang, they went to war, bro. Throwing each other in the barricade, shoot headbutts, dropping each other on their necks, stiff strikes, bro. Oh my, that was real wrestling, brother. That was. I'm going 4.5 on it, and like I'm gonna rewatch that. Like I love that match, bro. Like that's a perfect example of you don't have to. I'm not even talking about FTR Bullet Club Gold. You don't have to go an hour or 45 minutes to have a good, memorable wrestling match, bro. Like that's not something that's real. Like that's just I don't like you can make an impact with the time you're given. Ghetto told them 12 minutes. They said, bet we're gonna make these 12 minutes count, and they fucking did, bro. They're the talk of the town coming out of 2 nights of the G1. 2 guys that nobody was really checking for, bro.
And as a result, now when I see Mikey Nichols or Henare come up on the show,
I'm gonna watch their match. Unless they give me a reason not to. Unless they have a string of matches, it's just like, all right, that was a fluke. But I'm gonna watch their matches now, bro.
Yes. My eyes will be peeled now for what they got going on. Shane Hayes beat Alex Coughlin. I thought this was kind of a nothing match, and
I enjoyed it for what it was, but it wasn't. It wasn't great or anything.
More of the same with the Gabe Kidd situation. Coughlin is one half of the War Dogs tag team with Gabe Kidd, and like we discussed earlier, he lost, and it's yet to be seen if this is one of those things where they're going to be taught a lesson, so to speak, or be shown that they're an experienced or if it's just one of those things that Parker suggested, which is that lower end guys just kind of get established wins on the first few nights before we kind of move on from there. But Eddie Kingston and Shingo Takagi, guys, this was a match that we did circle.
Shirt off classic.
This is a match that going in, we all expected to be like fucking gas. And like it pretty much was exactly what you could expect. Like if you know Eddie Kingston and how he wrestles and Shingo Takagi how he wrestles, it's literally exactly what you could expect. They had a match that was just an absolute bomb fest. Big suplexes, big Saitos, palm strikes, backhands, punches, chops, fire, chop battles, Kobashi chops in the corner, grown man yelling. Yeah, man, it's funny. What I find funny is because Eddie's prepped his whole life for this and he works the style, it's funny how much he fits in the setting.
He's literally just plug and play in New Japan.
Plug and play. Yeah. He's exactly the style of like his surrounding. Yeah, man, I don't have much to say about this except that it's just exactly as great as I thought it would be. I thought this was awesome.
Go fucking watch that match, man. Like everybody, if you haven't checked it out, if you don't really care about New Japan, if you don't really care about the G1, but if you like AEW, like Eddie Kingston, go watch that match, bro.
It's free on the website.
On New Japan World.
Absolutely, it's free and
Eddie won. I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting
Eddie won.
like-
I wasn't expecting Eddie to win this match.
like obviously New Japan doesn't like push Geto as doesn't not Geto doesn't push Shingo as much as we would want, but he is still a protected guy. He's one of the best wrestlers alive, and Eddie went in there night 2 of the G1, his first night of the G1, and he beat Shingo clean, middle of the ring, bro. What a huge moment for him.
Even he couldn't believe it. Like, he kept asking the ref. He was just like, was that definitely free? Oh, it was such a good moment. I loved it. And in the post-match comments, they were both saying that they want to do the match again, like in AEW or Ring of Honor or whatever. So book the match. Book it all in, all out, wherever. I want to see it.
Anywhere, bro. Anywhere, please.
Absolutely. Another match I want to get into. Zack Sabre Jr. and Tanahashi. This is very interesting because I don't think it was like a spectacular match, but the most notable thing about this match to me was Tanahashi looked good. He's somebody that, if you've been following him recently, the deterioration was starting to happen pretty fast, and it was kind of concerning. Tanahashi is somebody who has a lot of mileage, right, and a lot of miles logged in, and they're starting to catch up to him. And the knee, we know his knees are bad, for example, right? The weekend of Forbidden Door, he looked concerningly poor. He wasn't moving well. The matches weren't particularly great, and that's why it had me concerned going into the G1. And what I can say about this match is because of ZSJ's grounded style, it allowed for Tanahashi to kind of still hang in there and do well because he didn't have to do too much jumping. He could just kind of work holds and work in and out of holds and sell. And I think it fit his style. So I don't know what he's going to do following this with other guys, but at least for this one night with ZSJ, I thought he had a very good match working that grounded way. And it was nice. It was just nice to see Tanahashi have a very good match again. What did you think, Charlie?
I really liked this match. It was really cool to see Tanahashi like this late in the game for him, adjust his style so he can match ZSJ and what he was doing. They have such good chemistry in the ring. Even with Tanahashi slowing down a lot more, there was no way this match wasn't going to be enjoyable. I don't think it was blow away or anything. It was just really solid. I enjoyed it a lot.
Hey yo, the Ace, he pulled it off, man. What'd you think?
This is my favorite Tanahashi match in months, bro. He did not have a good Forbidden Door weekend. I'm a big Swerve Strickland guy. That match was not good. MJF, not so much big on him, but I do always give him in his props. When it's time to wrestle, MJF works his ass off, and that match stunk too. So it was
stunk, but
it was bad, bro. So it's just okay. I wouldn't say it was actively bad, but it wasn't good, and I wouldn't say it was anywhere near good. But
Tana himself didn't look good.
Yeah, I'm not burying MJF here. I'm not. I put him over. It's that match. Those two matches weren't good. So it's just if you can't have good two showcase matches with Swerve and MJF, and it's not like he was doing anything in New Japan, and we all saw his Mania weekend run, and it's just is Tanahashi really finished, bro? And he might be. He might really be finished. Because Zack Sabre Jr. is the greatest technical wrestler alive. But for us to get a match last night that we all enjoyed, and for Tana to look like not him again, because it was a much more grounded approach. He was exchanging holds, but it was a really good match. He looked great. I hope Tana gets the memo and is adjusts his offense to this way, on a more permanent basis. It's not all of them aren't going to be as good as this ZSJ match, because obviously he's the best at what he does. But I think it would help Tana a lot if he did. He still got his sling blade in at the end. He got a standing high fly flow in. So you can still get your Tana shit in. But it's just I think switching over to this style would if he wants to keep going, it would help prolong his career, and it would help his match quality too.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of the type of very good match Keiji Muto would have in the 2000s as the 2000s wore on, because Muto was somebody who had a lot of knee issues because of the years of doing moonsaults, and he was out of his athletic prime by the time the 90s were over, and people thought he was done going into 2001, but he just took some time off. He got his knees scoped, and he completely changed his style, and he got by on charisma. He got by on his really well timed dragon screws and the big moves in the closing stretch. And last night's Tana match reminded me of that, where he kind of just hung in there and he worked the crowd and he kind of got the crowd on his side. And then when it was time to kind of close it, take it home, that's when you get the really great dragon screws and the arm screws and all that type of stuff. And then he does the signatures. And so if he can get in his Muto bag and just kind of accept that his like knees are fucked and work around that, he absolutely could add some longevity to his career as like a single star that actually gets featured prominently. So here's to hoping that Tana continues to look this solidly the rest of the tournament. We will certainly see. But shout out to him and ZSJ for the match they had yesterday. Following that was Evil and Tama Tonga, and all I could say about this match is it put me to sleep, and I chose not to go back and rewatch it.
I'd rather not talk about this match. I felt
I did
every
watch it
bit
for
of
my
the 20 minutes.
spreadsheet, but it was bad.
Did you end up watching it like when you woke up, Chuck, or did you watch it like after you left stream?
No, I mean I had it on like after I left stream because I didn't turn the show off. I just went to bed. But I had to rewatch it earlier, and it was bad. And I like Tama Tonga. I think he's a good worker. But
yeah, I think Tama's gotten pretty good, and he's very over in Japan these days.
Yeah, but this match sucked.
I'm not a Tama guy, but what a fucking stinky ass match, bro. I don't want to talk about it any more than I have to. Honestly, it was so bad,
I'm good
bro.
To move on.
It was so bad.
Painful stuff. Main
event was Imagine if we still had 30 minutes, bro. They would have went 30.
That would have been rough.
That match, if that match happened in 2020, it would have been a 30-minute silent pandemic match, and that's just really scary to think about.
Oh my god!
It was the weakest match of Block C. Like the other 3 matches in Block C, I had all over like either 4 stars or above. So
let's look at this. Let me see. The other Block C matches are Kingston Shingo.
Yep.
Mikey Nicholls Hinare.
Yep.
Finley Ishii. Oh yeah, Boxy's not bad. Boxy's doing Boxy's doing pretty good.
It's been my favorite block so far, like with the overall wrestling.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. The main event was Tetsuya Naito versus Jeff Cobb. These guys closed the show because Tetsuya Naito is still a big star and a big draw. He retired Keiji Muto this year. He's still Tetsuya Naito, and the fans still love him. He closed the match with Jeff Cobb in 14 minutes. They had a back and forth match. There were some big bombs towards the later closing stretch. There was a really cool release power bomb off the top rope from Jeff Cobb. Naito had some really cool Destino counters at the end of the match. And ultimately, Jeff Cobb got the best of him and beat one with a tour of the islands. What I'll say about this is this. I'm not particularly interested in Naito or Jeff Cobb on an individual level at this point in 2023. And I think both guys are actually kind of kind of mediocre, to be honest with you, to be completely honest with you. I think Naito's somebody who, with Naito, it's not his fault at all. Like, he's logged in the hours. It just is what it is. At some point, the knees are not going to knee the way they used to knee, and with him, it's fine. Like, he's earned the right to just be all right and hang in there and still get the legend pops because he's run himself into the ground the last fucking 15 years. I think right now he's actively just kind of an okay wrestler, even though sometimes he has these nights where he turns it back. When he gets in there with an Okada or an Ospreay, he looks great. But generally speaking, he's just kind of all right. And I thought last night he was all right. And then Jeff Cobb is somebody who I thought he briefly had a flash of being like great, like in the early pandemic. And now he's just kind of fine for me. I got concerning flashes of Jonah, not to the same degree, but like
at what points in the match? I liked Cobb a lot last night.
He does power stuff really well, and he has some athleticism to his game, right? But he's not menacing. He's not threatening, and he also lacks a little bit of presence. He's bigger than Naito, but like at no point was I like afraid for Naito. Like I wasn't like, oh my fucking god, it's over for him, And a great big man makes me afraid for the other competitor.
Because Naito got that aura, bro.
I guess this was not by no means a bad match. It was actually a pretty good match, but I somewhat couldn't get past the fact that like these are not the best versions of the competitors that I'm watching, and it affected what I was seeing, to be honest. But with that said, it was still a good main event match, I thought, and Jeff Cobb got a needed victory to establish himself in this G1 block. What did you think, Charlie?
I thought this match was pretty solid. Like, I'm not like a huge fan of like either of these guys. I think Jeff Cobb can have some really good matches, and Naito, obviously Naito, like he's always going to be a big star for New Japan. Like, I don't think it was like a lot of people were saying that it was like great on the timeline. I was just like, I didn't really see it, but I thought it was really solid and it was a good main event.
Yeah.
Jeff Cobb winning didn't really surprise me because I think Naito's winning the whole G1, so him taking a loss on the first night didn't really shock me. So I don't know, man. It was just kind of a solid match to end the night on.
Yeah. That's exactly what I thought it was. What did you think, AL?
I love the match. I don't think it was like match of the night or anywhere near it. But Naito was out there, took his t-shirt off. He was out there hitting Destinos. He was out there doing his top rope shit. Like he was, I mean, he went out there and tried. And
Yeah.
and Jeff Cobb was Jeff Cobb. That's all I could ask for. I have this hovering about like 3 3/4. Honestly, like, I liked the match a lot. It really entertained me. The end of the day, I just want to be entertained. I mean, I'm a big Naito guy. I like Jeff Cobb a lot, so maybe I'm looking at this with a little bit of rose-colored glasses.
Yeah,
Just the
that's
fact
fine.
that Naito is
I went
trying
3.5
and shit.
on it,
But
so.
yeah, I really enjoyed this match. It was a great way to end the G1 in my opinion. End night 2 of the G1 in my opinion. It was a good match.
Absolutely. And so good stuff, man. So the G1's off to a solid start. I kind of want to see Block A pick up a bit, and I'm excited to see that happen. The series resumes on Tuesday, and so we will absolutely have you guys covered for that. Dumb Guy Live is going to cover this in even more detail for that, for sure. You guys, as Monty said, best of like the video if you haven't already. Before we get into some closing super chats and get out of here, what would you guys say were your top 3 matches of the weekend?
Oh, of the whole weekend. Oh, geez.
Yes.
The whole weekend, I got Kenny God Omega versus Vikingo. I got Kento versus Nakajima, and I got what do I have left? I have the ambulance match, Pentagon Junior versus QT Marshall.
Oh my god! All right, I'm gonna go number 1, the FTR match against Bullet Club Gold.
Yuck.
And then number 2, I'm gonna go Kaito. It's not Kaito. Kento versus Nakajima. That match is tremendous. And then number 3, this is a tough one because this is gonna be like there's a lot of matches that I went like there's a couple matches I went 4 1/4 on, and that would probably be like the Omega match, the Eddie match, and then the Nare match. I'm gonna give it to Kenny and Vikingo because shout out to Kenny. And that'll probably round up my top 3. What do you think, Charlie?
I was just checking my match list to see what had made it on, and I liked a lot of matches from this weekend.
It was a great weekend.
My top 3 would probably be Kenny Vikingo, Shingo Eddie, and probably the FTR Bullet Club Gold tag match.
Shingo Eddie would be right outside of my top 3, and then right after that, I would have FTR Bullet Club Gold. Yeah. So that's my top 5.
I think Shingo Eddie would probably get knocked out of my top 3 after I've watched the Noah match because it sounds like something that I'm gonna really love. So
yeah, it was really.
I was just so into it and so happy for Eddie that it like really put it up for me.
Yeah, man, they killed it, man. They fucking killed it. Listen, guys, this was a lot of fun. Do we have any super chats here that we haven't gotten to?
We have one. Hold on, boss man. Just an announcement. If you don't like the video, Chuck doesn't get paid. I know y'all don't want that. Please like the video on your way out. Please. It helps a lot with the algorithm. We have one more super chat. Oh, Willie, $2 super chat. That Coughlin promo was promo of the year. I don't know about promo of the year, but I enjoyed it a lot.
I got a hot take.
What's up?
I don't really like that promo.
For real?
It's not like it wasn't a promo. He was just complaining. A lot of the complaints were pretty valid, but like it just the idea of it is obviously like I've sacrificed to be here with this company despite the company not giving me like I've poured more into this company than what they poured into me. That's the idea of what he's saying, right?
But hold on, Hangman.
What's up?
Gabe Kidd said a lot of the same things.
Yeah,
he popped huge for that promo.
Yeah, I know. It's bro.
Was it just like the delivery?
That's the thing. Promo like content. It's like the delivery is like very important here, right? And Gabe Kidd is being like a wrestling persona, so to speak, with it, and being brash and bombastic, and he's channeling it. He's channeling that motivation into being like a prick who wants to just be indignant and like fight and stand up to like these guys who have been mainstays in the company, right? Alex Cogden walked out and he was just kind of like, I have not seen my mom. You know what they texted me about the shirt? They texted me this. And you know what? It's bullshit. I think it's bullshit. And they pushed a lot of other guys. Aussie Open. Then they got the bag. And now they called us after they said we were not going to be in the G1. And now we are in the G1. That's funny to me. I don't know what you guys think. It's bullshit. Anyways, and I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Like, he's just complaining. And again, these are valid complaints. Like, I sympathize with everything he said, to be honest with you. But I don't know. Like, as a promo, I'm like, how the fuck is this promo of the year? Like, how is this promo of the year? It's barely a promo. He just stood up there and whined. What the fuck? And that's nothing. I like Coughlin. I'm a big fan of the Bullet Club War Dogs, right? But like, like, what is it? What am I supposed to feel about this? You know, I don't know. I can't. Sometimes I can't get into like just the I have a soapbox to like whine promo. You know, it's a tough thing to balance. But I guess that's my hot take. Is everybody's like, oh my god, this was like promo of the weekend. It was da 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 da. I was just kind of like, I don't know. It's just like, like what do you want me to say? But I don't know.
I see where you're going with that.
Yeah.
I give him more leeway because you know he just got out of the dojo. You know.
Yeah. It's nothing against. It's nothing against him.
I enjoyed the promo.
It's good
But
stuff, man.
I think that's
Press
I think that's
conference was
it.
great.
For sure. Shout out to the War Dogs. Hopefully they pick it up in this G1 and get some wins, man. And shout out to all of you guys. We've had over 100 viewers watching this thing the entire time through. And without talking about like, you know, the big two that much, you know, when it comes to wrestling promotions.
Yeah.
A lot of just kind of Japanese wrestling talk in Mexico. And you guys kind of stuck with us and hung out. And I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to us as much as I enjoyed kind of hanging out with you guys and talking to the crew. But this was the weekend roundup, man. So for Charlie, for AO, we'll catch you guys next time. And I'll see you tomorrow for Wrestle Pierce Worldwide.
Yeah.
Peace.
Hold on. Oh, I botched. I'm sorry. I was looking at something else. We out.